Okay, I want to welcome everybody. It's January the 19th, 2023, our first meeting of the year. Hooray, Happy New Year, everybody. Want to welcome we had a couple of new members here. It looks like Dave, unmute yourself and say hi. Tell us where you are and what you shoot.
Hello, I'm in over in Dunedin, and I shoot a Nikon Z5 with a typically with a 70 to 200 millimeter lens. Plus, I have the 105 macro.
What do you normally take pictures of?
I do a lot of wildlife shooting, birds, plants,
Awesome.
Things like that. Yep.
Awesome. Well, welcome to
the
club.
You're in good company here then.
Thank you. Thanks.
And Russell, we can't see you, but how are you and where are you and where are you from and what do you shoot?
Oh, I'm in Wesley Chapel. I have a Canon, I guess a D90. Can't remember the model.
That's okay.
I'm just playing around. I just got a relatively new camera. Usually just take it on vacation.
Okay.
Sometimes I can go on some hikes in the woods around here and see what I can
Awesome.
get wildlife wise.
Well, hopefully we'll get you past just taking pictures of whatever.
Yeah.
Although I do take pictures of a lot of whatevers too, but it's hopefully better. Snapshots. So anyway, thank you for coming, and we'll hopefully you'll learn something tonight as well. Chris.
Well, hopefully I'll learn how to turn my camera on.
There you go. And Chris, go ahead and tell us about yourself.
Hey, I'm in St. Pete, and I shoot Canon. I've only been shooting for about 10 months now, but I mostly am doing wildlife, a lot on birds, especially wading birds, some landscape, and a little bit of architecture.
Awesome. And last but not least, they just joined us, James Kelly Sayers. James Kelly Sayers. Can you hear us? You need to unmute. I guess she's not. I don't know if it's she or he.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I don't know how this works, but yes,
That's
I'm
okay. Yeah, if you just
down the button.
Yeah, just push your space bar on your or if you've got a button on your computer, unmute yourself. And so give us a little bit of background on you.
Moved to Florida a little over a year ago. Shoot a lot of wildlife. I'm trying to do some more landscape stuff.
Okay.
I have a Canon R.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming tonight.
Yay, 2 Canon people. I'm not the anomaly anymore.
I'm a Canon person too,
Anomaly.
Diana.
Yeah.
You said that.
Jan,
Than you thought.
Jan did. I'm
Don't
a
worry,
Canon
Diana.
person too.
Yay.
Yay.
Thanks, guys.
And you're still an anomaly.
Yeah. Diane is an anomaly for sure.
That's true, but at least not my camera.
Well, thanks for all these new folks for coming to either join us or visit us, and hopefully if you just came to visit tonight, you end up joining as well. Got a few announcements to make. There's still a few people that have not renewed for 2023. Just so you know, our memberships are annual, so or based on the calendar year. So even though you may have, if you renew, you joined the club in July, you still have to renew in January every year. So then we get everybody on the same schedule. So if you haven't, please renew ASAP, so we can keep you on the schedule coming, and let you know what's going on in the world of Tampa Bay Camera Club. Next thing, assignments. This week, or this month, it was Blue Hour. Next month, our assignment is minimalism reprise. Those of us who were here last year, we had minimalism. We don't normally repeat assignments from year to year. We may, skip 3 or 4 years and redo one, but we did minimalism last year and we did so poorly with it that the board decided, and along with Jim and Robert, decided to do it again. So please go to the website, and let me share my screen real quick here. I'm going to show it to you guys.
And I think we've recreated that experience with Blue Hour.
Yeah, we may need.
Yes,
to do
we
that.
have.
Yes.
We're gonna have to have a we're gonna have a little Blue Hour, a real quick Blue Hour tutorial, and we may end up doing this one again.
Okay. Okay, so if you go to our website, if you don't know where the list is click on this. It should be a little menu thing, even if you're on your phone or your iPad. So you click on the little menu. Oops. And it takes you to our other page, which it's not doing for some reason tonight. Here we go. This is the second page, and right here where it says annual competition assignments, please go in there and read what it says. Don't just take my 2-word or 1-word explanation at the beginning of each meeting to see. You want to look and see what it actually is. So here's the description. Well, and for next month, we have added a link to Jim's minimalistic gallery. So please take a minute and go in there and take a look at what he's done. And, you know, you don't want to copy what he's done, but you want to get an idea of what minimalism is. And then, you know, going forward, you might, while you're in here, read all of these, because as you're out shooting every day, you might come across something will fit one of these, but you want to make sure that you're, you know, doing what the requirement is for the assignment. Any questions on that? All right, we got 31 people here tonight. Woo! Welcome to all the other folks that have showed up that since we started here. Macro is our subject for March, macro photography. And again, make sure you read that description because it's very specific. April will be long exposure. Again, read the description because that is specific as well. You want to make sure you're inside the parameters of that assignment. Education nights, our first one for the year is next week. And we will be having Mike Moats speak. It's M-O-A-T-S, Mike Moats. He is Mr. Macro. He teaches at a lot of conferences. He'll be, I believe he's out of Chicago. I'm not sure, 100% sure, but I know he has taught with them before. I have been to his, he used to have boot camps all over the country. He stopped doing that now. It's too much, it was too much travel. I've been to 2 of his boot camps. I've been to his, every year he puts on a macro summit, which he brings in a bunch of different photographers to talk about macro. They do all different kinds of macro. And then he sets up a big, huge bunch of displays all over the room, a big, huge room, conference room, where you could actually spend the 2 afternoons shooting this stuff. So yeah, he's really good. He spoke for us. He was one of our very first people to come in after after we started going on Zoom, and he actually judged a macro competition that we did. February, we're going to be doing a kind of an extension to the panel discussion that we had last year, where a bunch of questions were asked. We answered them. We answered most of them, but there were like 7 or 8 that were way too, the answers were going to be too extensive. So we said we would do it again. We would do another a session where we delved into that stuff. So Robert and Jim are going to be doing this. They're going to be talking about answering the questions, and most of those were for Photoshop, but they'll probably talk a little bit about Lightroom. And I've asked them to make some comments about On1 and Capture One. So these are the main programs that are used by most photographers. And then in March, one of our future, and the reason why we brought Mike in on this month is because obviously in March, our assignment is macro. So get a little, leg up from Mike. Further down the line, one of our assignments is environmental portrait. And so Robert and Jim are going to get together. And if those of you that were around last year, we did a video with window light portraits. So they're going to get together and we're going to do an environmental portrait, hopefully a video for that as well. So that will be coming up in March. The other thing that's coming up in March is Photo Camp. Those that are not familiar with this, we have booked 5 tent-only sites at Rainbow Springs State Park, which is north about an hour and a half or so. And we did it there last year, and we had a lot of fun, even though it was raining most of the time. Lee is in charge of that. I actually will be gone that weekend. I'm going to be at Moab at a workshop. So Lee, who is not here tonight, unfortunately, he's going to be in charge of all that, but he'll have a whole team helping him. So I will be putting more information about that on the website shortly. The dates for that are March 3rd through 5th, which is a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you come in on Friday night and leave Saturday or Sunday morning. Or you come in, I usually just come in on Saturday for the day, for just the one day. So we have stuff planned that will be all announced once we get it all formalized. The next other outing that that the board has planned is for April the 1st, April Fool's Day. And it's going to be our one-day Tampa Bay Camper Club, which we had tried to do earlier or late, last year, but it didn't work out. Too many people were away. So on April the 1st, everybody, no matter where you are, you're going to have 24 hours from midnight to midnight to take pictures in your area or wherever you are for that 24 hours. For the folks in the Tampa Bay area or in, close by, we are going to meet at Tampa Riverwalk at 4:00 and do a little, get together there, an outing on Tampa Riverwalk. The picture behind me is something you can see at night off the Tampa Riverwalk. So I'll have more information about that on the website later on as well. Just announce a couple of things that are coming up that we are not going to do as a club, but we may see each other there because it's something that, might be good opportunities for photography. Is the Chinese New Year is this weekend. So they're putting on a huge festival on on Sunday, which is the 22nd. It's going to be in Tampa's Waterworks Park, which is down along the Riverwalk by Eulalie, and just before you get to Tampa Armature Works. And that is from 11:30 to 4 p.m. So that one you can check it out if you want to. The other thing.
What date is that?
Pardon?
What date is that?
The date? The 22nd. Yeah, it's Sunday. This Sunday.
Okay.
The other thing that's coming up is on March the 30th through the April the 2nd, and that is the Tall Ship St. Pete. So they'll be bringing in supposedly 5 or 6 of the big, huge sailing ships, and they will be at the harbor. And we're hoping that we're going to try to find out when they're going to have them out on the water, because they're cool. I've done them before a lot of years ago. Some of them let you right on the ship and you can get close-up stuff and detail shots there. But what's really cool is when they're out on the water. So we're going to try to find out if they can give us a schedule of when they're going to be sailing. So we'll let you know about that. So that's March the 30th through April the 2nd. Again, something on your own. Okay. Any questions or comments about all that stuff?
I could add something.
Okay.
Friday and Saturday, tomorrow and the next day, the Pioneer Days.
Okay.
At the, I'll read the description here. Rendezvous includes more than 1,300 participants in period clothing and hundreds of historically correct dwellings. So if you want to go and photograph people and.
That's in Dade City?
No, that's in Homeland. Alafia River Rendezvous.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Huh?
Alafia. It's a Alafia River?
Alafia
River. Yeah. Okay. Kate, Richard, can you put a link? If you could put a link in the chat, if people are interested in it, if you could do that, that would be great. Okay. Last but not least, we got 60 pictures to get through, so I'm trying to hurry up here. Hopefully all of you, folks that are, not brand new members, read the information I sent out about all the changes that we did for the exhibit, the rules and the scoring. Most of it is kind of behind the scenes, so it's nothing that's going to basically affect what you see, except for the fact that I'm no longer going to say award or honorable mention. It's going to be, all I'm going to read out to you is a raw score. Make sure you take a look at that again, same place on the website, but look at over on the left-hand side, they have all that stuff of, different headings of different pages. Look at the one that talks about the rules and the scoring. and read through the whole thing. What I emailed you were only the changes. There's still a lot of other stuff on there that still the same. So, but read through everything just to familiarize yourself with what's going on. If you have any questions, just email me at mytbcc@gmail.com and I'll answer your questions. Anybody have anything burning that they need to ask us tonight about them? Nope, good. Okay, that being said, because we had to recreate Jim, I want to thank Brian for helping. Brian and Jim and I pulled the rules together. We had a very long discussion at the board meeting and try to figure out how to do all this. And then Brian wrote up the first draft. I did the second, Jim did the third, and then Lee kind of found a mistake that we made. So we had 4 of us that worked on that. So I want to thank the guys for doing all that with me. But we had to recreate the score sheets and the running score sheet that you guys see on the website. So because of that, we went ahead and you normally have a member as a third judge. Well, I'm the member as the third judge, and I have already done the judging because we wanted to make sure it worked. And we wanted to not have it, we wanted things to go smoothly. So we went ahead and did all the judging ahead of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the images just like we normally do, and I will give you the scores. I'll give, 30 seconds on each image or so, and then give you the score for that image. And so we'll move through them pretty quickly because we do have 60 images tonight. And then we'll start working on the comment section. For those of you that are new, this is how we used to call it competition and critique. It's not so much a competition because you're competing against yourself. No, we're not competing against each other. And so the score is not going to be, a raw score. It's basically whatever, the 3 scores thrown together, and I will tell you what that is. And then everything gets added up, and the top 16 scores at the end of the year are how we figure out our annual award. So anyway, that's kind of
and there's no more award, no more honorable mention, and there's no more categories, no more AA,
right.
Single A. Right. Everybody is who they are and get the score they get.
Yep. So we're trying to make things a little more. And we've had no A people qualify for the last 3 or 4 years, so it was kind of pointless to have that that category. And so we decided that it was a better thing to have everybody on the same score range and just kind of go from there. And just makes it a lot more fair. So anyway,
everybody has advanced very rapidly in here the last few years, which is a good thing.
Yeah, and maybe not a good thing. So we want everybody to learn as they go, not just kind of get be to the top to start off with, and it's not a good thing. Anyway, so that being said, I want to just let you know so everything has been pre-done, and we're going to try to speed through this pretty quickly. So does anybody have any questions at this point?
Hey, Lynn, this has nothing to do with that. I just looked up that Chinese lantern thing. Where is it? Because it's not in the news.
It's Chinese. Hey, Lee Win, can you put that link in the chat, please?
Is she here?
Yeah, she's here. Lee Win, can you put the link for the Chinese New Year thing in the chat?
I just looked it up and I couldn't find it online.
The problem is not online. That's an announcement in the Chinese community.
Oh, okay.
That's why I sent the flyer to Lynn.
It's at Tampa Waterworks.
Okay.
Park.
Hey, Lynn.
Waterworks Park. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that you mentioned that you're the third judge tonight, but Jim and Robert are the permanent judges. The other guys might not know that.
Yeah. Jim and Robert unless one of them is unable to do it, those 2 guys are 2 professionals, and they judge every month. So yeah, we appreciate all the time and effort that they put into this as well. Okay. So let me go ahead and, just Jim or Robert, do you have anything to say beyond, not having to do with tonight's competition, or exhibition?
No, we're going to move right along.
Okay.
Yeah, I do want to talk about tonight's exhibition.
Okay. Let me go ahead. And do you want to do that before I bring up the pictures, or what do you want to do?
Yes, I do, because I want to show something quickly. I want people to understand, what the scores were based on, and let it be a little bit of an educational thing, because it became obvious when going through the images that a lot of people actually really don't know what blue hour is. And so I'm going to show that blue hour, to be very technical about it, and you reverse this on sunrise, by the way. You've got daytime when the sun is shining on things. That's not blue hour. I know there's one entry where the sun is actually up and shining on things. That's not blue hour. Sunset, when the sun is setting, the sun is in the sky or just below the horizon, you have orange, red colors in the sky. That's not blue hour. Twilight happens after sunset. That's when you get the pinks and the purples and things like that going on in the sky. That's not blue hour. Blue hour happens after that, as it's actually starting to get dark. It'll look very dark to your eye, but to your camera, you can expose it and develop that deep, rich blue out of the sky. Now, the thing with blue hour is foregrounds. It is actually so dark when you photograph blue hour that foregrounds will go dark. That's why you want illuminated buildings, illuminated subjects, or you use flash, or you paint with light. If you actually wait till blue hour and shoot a scene that doesn't have any lighting in the foreground, you'll get a silhouette, which sometimes is fine. But I see a lot of people just were too tempted to shoot while there was still enough light in the foreground, and it wasn't actually blue hour yet. A lot of people missed it by 15, 30 minutes in their timing. Now, I actually do blue hour shoots. I get paid to do them, and it's actually a specialty thing that I do. In fact, next week, I have 3 blue hour shoots booked with clients. And if you turn in a sunset picture or a twilight picture or a black and white picture to a client that hires you for blue hour, you're not going to get hired again by that client. So
I wanted to say something, because you kind of described at least one of my photos as not qualifying, but I actually Googled what time the blue hour was, and I was surprised to find that the blue hour was actually only 9 or 10 minutes. And
yeah. Well, it varies. I'll tell you this, it varies depending on conditions, and when it starts varies depending on conditions. I've been shooting blue hour shoots for years. It can start anywhere. If it's very cloudy, it can start 10 minutes after sunset. If you have a clear sky, you may have to wait till 30, 35 minutes after sunset before you have blue hour. And depending on sky conditions, it may last 10 minutes. It may last 30 minutes. It's variable. I do 3, 4 at least blue hour shoots a month. I have 3 booked next week. Believe me, I know every kind of blue hour and every variable about it. And I'll show you some quick examples so you know what the judges are thinking of as blue hour, and if we do this again, and if you actually want to go out and try it again. So I'm going to share my screen, Lynn.
Yeah, go ahead. And if any of you guys that have got Photo Pills, the app on your phone, that helps to give you an idea when blue hour should be. Again, like you said, the conditions will affect it. But I actually went with my images and figured out. You went and again, you could actually go to a location. I went to the place that I shot the image, even though it was 3 or 4 months ago. Put it in that date, and it told me when blue hour is supposed to be, so I could figure out which images were in that time frame.
So now, if you actually wait till blue hour, you'll see what I mean. This is an example of you're going to have a silhouette in the foreground.
We can't see your screen, Jim.
Oh, I told it to share. Do you see any screen at all?
No. Now we do.
Now? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. That's actually one of my best-selling prints ever over the years. But if you wait till it's actually blue hour, this is what your foreground will typically look like, unless you light it yourself or it has its own lights. But you're going to have a silhouette if you actually wait until blue hour. Or if you've got subjects that are illuminated, that's good. Actually, to the east, when the sun is setting, once the sun has set, blue hour travels across the sky. It starts in the east, and when it's starting in the east, it's not in the west when it's still orange. And then 15, 20 minutes later, you'll have blue hour in the west after it starts in the east. And you can get the orange in the west can reflect on buildings like this. This was a very specific setup shot that that took 2 weeks waiting for the right weather conditions to shoot it. Sold that over and over and over. There, there again, blue hour, but everything is illuminated, in it. Same thing. Same thing there. Now, if you wait till blue hour and you're going to shoot people or something, you have to use a light because it's too dark to shoot. So this is done with a flash. This is done with 3 flashes. In fact, Lynn was one of my assistants for this shoot, holding one of the lights.
On the ladder, holding a light.
Lynn was on a ladder holding a light for this shoot.
That's on the top of a fire truck, guys, hanging
There
out
again, using a flash. But you look at the sky. You see blue hour. The word blue is there for a reason, because it's when the sky is blue, not when the sky is red, not when the sky is pink, not when the sky is foggy. It's blue. Now, here's another example of this had no lighting on it. Wanted to shoot it at blue hour, so it had to be lighted. This was light painted. So, otherwise this would have just been a silhouette of a cabin at blue hour with no lighting being there. If you actually wait long enough for it to be blue hour, your foreground is dark and you're going to have to put some light in it if it doesn't already have light. So now, a lot of my shoots for blue hour are real estate, and I shoot a lot of magazine covers. 9 out of 10 magazine covers that I shoot, they hire for blue hour. So, that was a magazine cover. That was a magazine cover. This was light painted, by the way. All this foreground and everything is light painted. This is light painted. That was another magazine cover. This was light painted. That was another magazine cover. This is light painted. So is this. These are virtually all, this is light painted. So you have to, a lot of times, bring in your own light if you're going to wait till blue hour, because it is so dark when it's blue hour. This was light painted, so that's, these are light painting in just about all of these, because if you just try and get a single exposure, get the sky, foreground's going to be too dark. So the gist is you have to wait till much later than you think for blue hour. It's after sunset, after twilight, when it actually appears to your eye like it's getting dark. That's when your camera sees blue hour.
Jim, what are you light painting it with?
Some of these are LED lights, and some of these are big battery powered monster flashes. This is LED lights. This was multiple great big battery powered flashes, not speed lights, but big monoblock flashes, battery powered. This was big monoblock flashes, battery powered. So this was LED lights.
We may need to do an outing where we do some light painting, Jim.
So, yep.
We haven't done one of those in a long time.
But like I say, this is we didn't realize when we specified blue hour that apparently a lot of people didn't realize that it's actually when the sky gets deep blue, well after sunset or well before sunrise. So, all right, we're ready to move on.
Just before you move on, just note, Jim Hagan, if you go to Home Depot and go in the paint department, just get the light brush that's there. The light is one.
Light painting brush. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Robert, how much does that cost?
The one thing I can say is the humor has not improved since I've been gone.
Okay, guys.
New year, same old humor, right?
Same old humor. All right, let's get started on these images. Woohoo.
By the way, here's the battery powered light that was used for a lot of those. If you can see that, this is the battery, and this is the light that was used for a lot of those shots.
Okay. All right, let's get started. Are we ready? I'm not ready. Hold on a second.
No.
Let's see. We need to get all the way back to the beginning here. All right. Get the score sheet up. Score sheet up. Okay. All right. This first one is called Lewis. And the score for that one is 20.7, and that is Richard Edwards' image. Next one is called North Carolina. And the score for that one was 20.6, or excuse me, I mean, let's back up back up. I forgot we need to add a point. This is a sign, so all the signs get an additional point. So the total for this one is 21.7, and the total for this one is 21.6, and that is Richard Edwards' image as well. This next one score is 21.9. And that image is Jan Keys. Next one is called Northern Sunset. And the total on that one is 21.6. And excuse me, yeah, that's 21.6. And that is Rod's image. The next one is Early Morning on Artist Drive. And the total on that one is 23.6. And that is my image. The next one is Don't Fall In. I wouldn't want to fall in that for sure. The total on that one is 24.2. And that is Karen's image.
Yes, sweetie.
The next one is Badlands Sunrise. And the score on this one is 23.7. And that is Rod's image. This next one is Blue Lupines. The score on this one is 22.3. And that is Diana Cahill's image. This one is Tampa River Center. The score on this one is 23.7. And that is Jack's image. The next one is Blue Heron Hour. I thought that was kind of a cool one. Name. And that one is total 23.3. And that is Barry's image. This one is Charming Twilight at Solanto. The total on that one is 22.3. And that's Fong's image. The next one is Solanto Bar at Hill. The total for that one is 22.7, and that is Fong's image as well. This next one is Twilight on Eufaula Lake. Total is 21.5, and that is Kathy Thompson's image. The next one is Early Morning on Eufaula Lake. And the score on that one is 21.3. And that is Kathy's image as well. The next one is Early Morning, or excuse me, the next one is The Door. And that total is 23.6. And that is Diana Cahill's image. The next one is Pier Pre-Sunrise. The total for that one is 21.8. And that is Chris Maraghi. I don't know how to say Chris's name. Chris, our new Chris, that's his image.
You're pretty close. It's Maraghi.
Maraghi. Okay, Maraghi. Okay.
Yep.
I have Wiziki, so I'm entitled to mispronounce people's last names. Okay, because nobody ever gets mine right. The next one is Blue Hour Lake Tahoe. Total for this one is 25.3, and that is Lee's image. Next one is Holiday Promenade. And the total for that one is 24.3, and that is my image. The next one is Pine Tree Filigree. The total for that one is 23.2, and that is Jan Key's image. The next one is Ballast Point Blue Hour. And the total for that one is 23.3. And that is Jim McWilliams' picture. Next one is My Town. And the total for that one is 21.9, and that's Karen's image. Next one is Blue Hour Reflection. Am I on the right one? Yes, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Blue Hour Reflections. The total is 23, and that is Jim McWilliams' photo. The next one is Tampa Cruise at 6:15 p.m. Total is 22.8, and that's Brian's image. Next one is After Sunset. Total on this one is 21.9, and that's Nan Smith's image. Next one is Bon Voyage, and the total on that one is 23.3. That is Jack's image. Next one is Day's End. Total is 22.1, and that's Sylvia's image. Next one is Tangled. Total for that one is 25, and that is Sylvia's image. Next one is Blue Light Goddess, and the total on that one is 21.6, and that is Valerie's image. The next one is Early Morning. Total on that one is 23.9, and that is Lee Wynn's image. This next one is called Symbol of Prayer. The total on that one is 24.9, and that is Lee Wynn's image. Hold on a second. Scroll up here. Next one is Blue Veterans Memorial. The total is 20.8. The total is 21.8, and that is Tom's image. Next one is Pacific Blue Hour. Total is 21.9, and that is also Tom's image. And the next one is Colorado After Sunset. Total is 23.2, and that is Nona's image. And that is all are assigned.
You missed one of mine.
Brian, you entered one in general that I thought was a really strong candidate for Blue Hour, and I wondered why you entered it in general.
Yeah, I think
Maybe you entered it in general by mistake.
Yeah.
I sent it originally with a G in front of it, and then I sent a second email saying that I labeled it wrong.
Well, I thought I picked the second one, so I'm sorry. Let's see, where is that one? It's called, is that the Tierra Verde Bridge?
Yes.
You may want to leave it there. No, I'm just kidding. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. There.
There it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked at that when I scored it and said, why the heck did Brian enter this as a general and why didn't he put it in Blue Hour?
Yeah, I'll move it up there. So the total, you know what, Jim? all the generals, the didn't total anything on the score sheet. Can you look at that?
Yeah,
Just notice
I'll
it.
look at it.
Okay.
Stand by.
Okay. But I could add that up. Oh, my poor brain. Let's see here. Where is it? Where is it? All right, we thought we had this solved, but Robert didn't have a chance to do anything on his scoring until the last minute, so we didn't notice this had happened. So the score for that one is 23.4, or yeah, 24.4, excuse me, with an extra point, and that is Brian's image.
All right, your score sheet's fixed, Lynn.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, let's take a breath. Start at the beginning of this. Okay, am I going too fast, guys? Or are you getting enough of a chance? You get to see all these images again as we go through them one by one. So
Yep, they're all going to come up again.
Yep, you'll see them all again. So okay, this one is the sunset years, and the total on this one is 23.3, and that is Jan Key's image. The next one is called Come In, and the total on this one is 23.6, and that's Dom's image. This one is called Calm October Morning. Score for this one is 23, and that's Rod's image. This one's called Time Out. Total score on this one is 24, and that's Karen's image. This one is Sunrise Lupines. The score is 23.7, and that is Diana Cahill's image. Next one is Little Sprout, and the score on this one is 21.1, and that's Chris's image. This one is Mountain Draw, and Kathy put on here AR like for altered reality, so just noting that. The score is 21.7, and that is Kathy Thompson's image. Next one is called Bison in the Distance, Yellowstone National Park. Total is 22, and that is Garrett's image. This one is called Blue and Gold, and the score is 23.7, and that is my image. The next one is Fresh Snow. The score is 23.1, and that is Lee's image. This one is called Chairlift with Fresh Snow. The score is 23, and that's also Lee's image. This one is called the Skyline Building. Score is 24, and that is Dom's image. This one is called Psychedelic Gym. It's not altered reality, and the score is 23.6, and it's Brian's image. This one is called Look What I Brought You, and the score is 24.6, and that's Sylvia's image. Next one is Just After Sunset, and the score is 21.5, and that's Fong's image. This one is called Once Up Here. Score is 22.1, and that's Jack's image. This one is Blue Droplet Cascade. Score is 23.9, and that is Barry's image. This one is Murphy with a Treat. Score is 24.2, and that's Helga's image. This one is Murphy without a treat. Very happy. Score is 23.4. That's also Helga's image. This one is Perfectly Pink. Score is 21.8. And that is Susan Huckabee's image. Huckabee, I'm sorry. Huckabee. Next one is Iron Horse from Norfolk visiting Tampa. Score is 22.4, and it's Barry's image. And we did that one already. Next one is Black and White Mountain. Score is 22.3, and the image is Valerie's. This one is called Ladybug Aggregation, and the score is 23.5, and that's also Valerie's. This one is Glory. Score is 23.9, and is Lee Wynn's image. Next one is Staring You Down. Score is 23.1, and that's Nona's image. And the last one is Open Wide. Score is 23.9, and is also Nona's image. That's all of them, guys. Let's take a 5-minute break, and then we'll get into the comments.
So I looked it up, Lynn, and I submitted that under my assigned email, but I did put it in with a G by mistake.
Okay, that's why.
My mistake in that case.
Okay, we got it. We'll get it straightened out. No big deal. Okay, so everybody take a 5-minute break. Let's be back here at 7:53, please. Ugh.
I actually like that went fast like that, Lynn.
Yeah.
As I say, every image is going to come back up again and be there for a while anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
I was actually going to say, I don't see any reason why the third judge can't prejudge every week, because this was much better.
Because not everybody has time.
Well, and we had that discussion, and Robert had some good points about why not to do that when we had that discussion the first time around.
Yeah, yeah. It's first impressions. We want the members to judge these as basically a first impression. Yeah, we've got they're most everybody's pretty fast, so.
Yeah, by the time you reach the point where we pick you to do it, you should be reasonably fast at coming up with a score. Yeah.
There was something I was going to share with everybody. I can't remember what it was now.
Jack, can you hear me?
You're muted, Jack.
Yes, I can hear you, and yes, I know I'm muted.
Oh, now I can hear you. No, it's just curious. Did you get your new camera yet?
I did. I got it. I got it yesterday.
Okay.
I love the fact that focus stacking now is automated.
Jack, that's been automated since the XT2.
No, not automated, and not. You had to do it manually. You had to set the sequence and everything. My XT3 does not have automated focus stacking. Are
Okay.
you-
Okay. By automated, I thought you meant by one push of the button.
Yeah, it is one push the button, but what you have to set it up. You have to tell it
Right.
when it's manual. You have to tell it how many shots. What to s-
Correct. Yes,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
you are correct. Yeah, you're correct about that.
Yeah, and that came out for the first time in the XT4, but
Right.
now it's
Yeah.
in the
Yeah, I understand what you're saying now. I thought you were referring to like just having to push the button once instead of having to push the button repeatedly.
No,
like
no.
like in firearms when you talk about automatic.
Yeah.
They're talking, you guys are talking Fuji, by the way. They're
Yeah.
talking about Fuji cameras.
Now it's two buttons.
Mm-hmm.
First button to tell it to go to automatic, and the second button is the trigger.
Yep.
Well,
But
guys,
yes,
which is
I have it, and I'm thrilled with it.
Yeah, great for macro and great for food photography. But yeah, when you want to have some time, if you want to get together and go through some of the other, because that has a lot in common with the XH2 that I'm working with.
Yes, I'll call you and we can set up a time. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some shots.
I keep telling myself it's not the camera, it's the guy behind the camera, but I keep hoping that someday I'll find a camera that can do it.
That's not what you told Lori, right? When you bought that.
No, Lori says, "Why are you asking me? Go do it."
Hey,
That's why we're happily married for 54 years.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack.
But a good carpenter still works better and more efficiently with a better hammer than a cheap one.
Well, that's true. The sharper tools do a much better job. Yeah.
Jack.
Yes.
That was your image of the Skyway Bridge?
Yes, it was.
Where were you when you took that?
I can't tell you. I'll have to.
See, he was at the same spot where I took the shot of the full moon rising up through the bridge.
That's right.
Over the gate.
That's Piney Point. The name of the street is Piney Point. It's at Manatee, Port Manatee.
Okay, thank you.
Did you have to climb over a gate to get to it?
No. But I heard banjo playing in the distance. I want to give a shout out to a guest of ours tonight. His name is Kelly Sires. I met him there at Piney Point. Kelly, are you listening? You're muted. You're muted.
I'm here, sir.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the club. I hope you enjoy the evening. This next part is the real fun part. You get to learn a lot. But anyway, I met Kelly there at the Pier Point. At Piney Point, and invited him to come and join us tonight and see what he thinks. He's a photographer, an amateur photographer himself. Has done some professional shooting, I think, from what you told me, Kelly, and wants to learn a lot more.
Hey, Jack.
Yeah.
I just realized now. Okay, so your shot was a sunset shot. You were actually 180 degrees opposite of the bridge from where I shot the moon rising.
Yeah, mine was facing west.
You were facing west. Mine was facing east. So you were not at the same place.
Yeah.
That was not a sunrise shot of the ship. That was a sunset shot of the ship.
Correct.
Yeah, my shot was facing east. Yours was facing west. We were 180 degrees opposite each other for those shots of the bridge.
Okay.
We need to get rolling. We got a lot of images to get through here tonight.
I'm ready.
All right, Robert, you ready?
Ready when you are.
All right.
Yeah, and I'll want to share my screen a couple times as we go through these, Lynn.
Okay. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Been a long day. Okay, this one is Richard Edwards.
Is Richard here tonight?
Okay. Yes, he is.
I'm here.
And
this is my first time submitting. What's expected of me? Explanation?
A lot. No.
No.
This was, many of the people that pictures, my blue hour is in the morning, not at night. So this was shot at probably shortly after you could see and walk. I would often go in the dark. I take my dog up to the this park and walk it early in the morning.
Yeah, try setting up your tripod when you think it's still dark and do a time exposure. You'll get some blue hour. And one of the things about fog is fog pretty much wrecks blue hour. You're pretty much, you virtually have no blue hour to work with when you have fog in most instances.
Is that also true of clouds?
No, clouds, just if you have overhead clouds, especially if it's overcast, you get a really good blue hour, but it lasts much shorter. You have a much shorter window of time to work with for that blue color when you have a cloud deck in the sky. So when I have to shoot blue hour when it's overcast, I have to run like a chicken with my head cut off to get more than a handful of shots when it's overcast cloudy, because you literally will have like 5 to 8 minutes to work with when it's solid overcast. When you have a clear sky, you've got a really long window to work with.
Even if it's the perfect time, if there's fog,
it's nothing to do. Like I say, the time is variable, and you can be there at what would be the right time, but it's not blue. You can see it's not blue.
So the blue hour has to have blue in it.
Yeah.
Hence the name Blue Hour. Yeah.
Now, Richard, go back one. I'm sorry, Richard. I want to know what do you want me to know about that sign?
I just put that in there. I thought it was a good part of the composition. I liked it in there.
All right. What does it have to do with the dog?
What?
Sort of pointing to him.
Richard? What does the sign have to do with the dog?
Not much. I take the dog out on the hiking trail, so
it means something to him.
Right. All right.
So you think it would be better just with the dog?
No, what I'm saying is you're giving me a shot and you're giving me a sign, and everything about an image has to do with your main subject or has some relationship to the subject. And so you've given me an 8 and a direction to go, and you've given me a sign that's brighter than your dog. So my attention is going to that sign, and that's why I'm asking you, what does the sign have to do with the dog?
I get your point.
Yeah, and anytime you have any kind of writing or human-made stuff that interferes with your main subject, you have to be careful about that.
Yeah, in a completely different composition, if the dog had been on the trail and going past the sign and up the trail and you could see the trail, then it would be, provide a little more context. But in this case, it's not context, it's competition to the subject.
Yeah.
I see.
The other thing I would say, it's actually, if you want to get rid of that sign but get also rid of this white spot up here, Richard.
Yeah.
That's very distracting. So just either, clone it out or cut it off there.
I have a question about the extra point for a sign. I don't understand that. What's that about?
It's incentive to enter the assignments.
Yeah. So yeah, we wanted it. Back in the day before we did this, we didn't have a lot of a lot of people didn't participate in the assignment, and we were trying to figure out a way to reward people for doing it. And so we added an extra point, and then we just carried that forward to this new scoring system because we've been doing it for a couple of years. Yeah, yeah, we've been doing it for a couple of years on the backside. You didn't see it because we did it on the backside of the scoring, but now the scoring is all up, basically up front, so it's right there. So.
Trying to get people to try new things.
Yeah.
All right. Just before we go forward, Richard.
Yes.
Welcome.
And so this one is also, Richard, is called North Carolina.
Yeah, and as you can see, the sun is actually up and shining, on the trees in the foreground, and even on the tops of the clouds in the background, and on the trees across the valley. This is probably a good 40 minutes past blue hour, as far as when the when the color would have been in the sky. And at the time that it had been blue hour, all this would have been a silhouette at the bottom. At the actual time it was blue hour, it pretty much would have been just black trees. There would be no detail in it if it were actually photographed at blue hour.
It's still a pretty good image, even if if it was not for the sake of the.
Yes, correct. Yes, in general category, that is true. Both of them are good images as general category. As far as the assignment, there are cases where and that's why people need to learn, if we do this again, what blue hour really is, because there's plenty of images tonight that missed blue hour.
They're good images. They just didn't hit the.
You're not alone, Richard.
Yeah, you're not alone.
Okay.
We're just getting started. This one is Day is Done, and it's Jan's.
15 more minutes, Jan, you would have had it.
Yeah, so this was about 20, 25 minutes after sunset, but I wanted to ask you, what did you say earlier about depending on what direction you were facing? So
yes. And about the time, if you were facing 180 degrees opposite from this image, blue hour would have been starting behind you.
It was.
And that blue hour travels across the sky. At sunset time, blue hour starts on the eastern horizon, and the blue color will actually travel up, up, up and over the sky and eventually end up in the west. But 20, 25 minutes after sunset, blue hour starts in the east. And then depending on sky conditions, how fast it travels across to the west will vary. It may not be blue hour in the west until 45 minutes after sunset.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that helps me, because when I was looking at my images, going through them, that's exactly what was happening. In the east, it was blue. And
yes, that's exactly what happens, and that's why, like, when I have to photograph the homes and the real estate for blue hour assignments, I always have to figure out, which way is east and west, and know that my initial shots will all be whatever part of, that give me the eastern sky behind the home. And then I work my way around and do whatever views give me to the west as last. So I always shoot facing east first and facing west last, for that very reason.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Again, other than that, this is a pretty good. Yeah, this is a good image.
This is a good image, other than not being blue. But yeah, it's compositionally, this is a very nice image.
Yeah. Thanks.
Jan?
Yes, sir.
It wouldn't be as nice if you hadn't learned from us.
All right, Robert, I'll give you that.
Okay. Next one is Northern Sunset, and this is Rod's.
Mm-hmm. And again, about 15, 20 minutes too soon on pushing the button.
But other than, it's actually, if it was a general.
But it's a great silhouette.
Yeah, again, we want to make sure you guys understand. These are still good images. They don't fit the assignment. So. Next one is mine, and it's early morning on Artist Drive in Death Alley.
Mm-hmm. Right at the very tail end of blue hour in the morning. Right?
Just barely at the tail.
Just barely squeaked this one in.
Yeah, this is I checked the time on photo pills too.
Yeah, that's on the bleeding edge of blue hour right there.
And just I don't usually tell people this, but just so you guys know, because this is Camera Club, this is a iPhone image. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, that's how good they are.
That's not the thing on this image. I just want you to know that Lynn had radioed to all of the people on the side of the mountain. She's queuing them to get into place.
No, I waited for that. I could not get these three people here two people to separate. They were too into a conversation, I guess. So.
Lynn, this is my story. Don't step on it.
I was losing my light, so I shot it with them together. Like I hated it, but anyway. All right, on to the next one. This one is Don't Fall In, and it's Karen's image.
And it's definitely blue hour.
I'm sorry I stepped on you, Jim. I didn't hear what you said.
I was just saying, this is definitely blue hour. That nailed it.
The only thing I would say on this one is maybe, oops, come on, develop. These white, this stuff here looks a little blown out to me.
It's pretty hot.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I'm just.
Where did that light come from?
and maybe a little bluer actually. It actually was a little yellow to me. And this, I calibrated
Those are
the monitor today, so it should be spot on.
Hey, Karen, where was this taken?
Niagara Falls.
yeah.
Oh,
And those are
wow.
yeah, and those are lights on the shoreline that are shining into the water, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it just needed to be a little less. I mean, some of it, I think this right here in some of these areas are just so overexposed that, see, it's the white, it's not, it should be right up against this right border of the what is this thing? The histogram.
Histogram.
And it's not. So that means there's no information there. So yeah, it's just a little bit, those are a little bit overexposed. But other than that, it's yeah, I just definitely would not. So is the falls behind the bridge or behind you?
Behind me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to fall in that water. It looks like it's cold.
It was rough and it was cold.
This one is Badlands Sunrise. It's it is Rod's.
Is Rod here?
I didn't see him. I don't think he is.
Yeah.
Rod, are you
Okay.
here? Guess not.
No, Rod's not here.
Yeah, and this looks like it's if that's sunrise, then this is looking south, so it's in between, the sunrise, twilight, and blue hour on the right side. You actually are seeing the transition.
Yeah.
And this being sunrise, 15-20 minutes earlier, all that blue would have been on the left side and all the way across. And as the sun is coming up, the blue is receding away to the west. And in a couple minutes, it actually would be gone out of the west in this image.
It's so hard for us not to want all that color in the sky. I think that's what part of the problem is here.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of temptation to not do it at the right time.
Oh, you could take this photo and just don't submit it as a blue image.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, it's a fabulous, and and like I say, this one has it in, half the sky is blue hour. It's halfway there. This is in the transition phase, kind of like Lynn's was right. Lynn's image in Death Valley there, or wherever that was getting right into the transition phase as well.
This one is Blue Lupines, and it's Diana Cahill's. I think she is here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here.
I find the out of focus plant in the lower left to be a distraction.
Here.
Yeah.
And no, I was just saying that you're a little bright on this one. We're not at blue hour.
Yeah. If this was morning, it's past blue hour.
It's not. This is
if
actually
it's-
after sunset, and I
Yeah.
selected the sky and brightened it so much to try to make the lupine pop that I destroyed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
I just made the sky darker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, yep. This subject. I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking. Let's see if we got rid of this. I don't know.
Then the
where-
tree's really big,
Yes,
and then
yes,
if it's
no,
too
get the-
narrow, then it's like not the right.
No.
layer.
Go back to that. Go back to just the edge of that tree.
Yeah, back to the edge. Yeah, right there.
There
That was
you
it
go.
right there.
Now we got breathing room.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's your image, Diana.
Okay.
Right there.
Yeah. Right there.
All right. Next one is Tampa River Center. This is Jack's image.
Yep. And that one nailed it.
Robert.
Oh
Anything?
no, yeah, you're on the money right there, Jack.
And this was
I-
this is with his old camera.
I kept wondering if you were forgetting to add that bonus point to some of them, because this was one I was surprised how low it scored.
Jack, let's see what Tampa River Center was 23.7.
Yeah, I think you said 22.7 when you
Yeah.
when you announced it.
It doesn't matter. It'll be all right at the end of the year.
It's recorded on the sheet.
Yep. Okay, next one is my favorite title. Blue heron hour.
Mhm.
This
Right
is
on
Barry's.
the right on the cusp of
Yeah.
blue hour is traveling across the sky there. Is Barry here? I know this is Barry's image. Is he here?
That's just so too bad for Barry.
Oh, because I have just I need to let Barry know something. that
Yes.
He left his he left his print from the display at the Christmas party, and I saved it for him, and I want him to know that it's not missing and gone, that I saved it for him.
Any words of wisdom on this image other than the fact that it's not blue hour? Actually pretty good. I think it's
It's on the this is transition, very very edge of transition.
Oh, I could use a little less room on the left-hand side.
left.
Correct.
The left.
I agree with that.
Left-hand side.
Okay, let's do that. So
It extends a little. There's more negative space than necessary out there. There you go.
Yeah, somewhere
That's,
around there.
That's better.
on the third.
Yeah.
Yep. Bird on the third.
I put him on the third.
Bird on the third.
Bird on the third. Okay, next one is Fongs, and this is Charming Twilight at Solanto. I'm not sure what's happening with her camera on this,
There's there's artifacts, it's processing artifacts all over that whole hash mark design, the diagonal stuff. Somehow that's a post-processing artifact from trying to push up the shadows.
Yeah.
That came into that. And this is a lovely image, otherwise, other than the distraction of that grid pattern throughout the sky.
If Fong is not here, is she?
No, she's out of town.
Oh my goodness, because I wanted to compliment her. She's headed in a direction that's far different than where she was. All we need to do is just get her to clean up certain things. But I'm enjoying the direction she's headed in.
Her sensor is one of the things that needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get that taken care of for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all three of her images have no spot. Now, see, this one does not have that hash mark pattern that the other one has in it.
Yeah.
This has some grain, but in this one, actually, the grain is not a bad thing at all. The grain is just the grain is fine in this. It doesn't detract. This is a gorgeous image.
Yep. And that's why I wanted to tell her, but she ain't here.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to tell her too that this is beautiful.
Well, it's recorded. She'll hear.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, if it's recorded, then she should hear that. She needs to get over to the studio to get her sensor clean.
Okay, this one is Twilight on Eufaula Lake. It's Kathy's.
Kathy, is that Eufaula, Alabama?
Oklahoma?
Oklahoma?
Oh, it's Alabama.
Yeah.
It is Alabama. I've been there. Interesting place.
It is. It's
Eufaula
good food too.
And it's got a lot of great mansions there as well.
Some good barbecue too.
Yep.
But you fell short, Kathy, on your blue hour.
Yeah.
Hey, Lynn, can I share my screen at this point for
Let me get out of here.
at least an image or two?
Yep. Hold on. Let me unshare. Keep calm. I'm still here. Good one, Chris.
Just so you know, Jim, all you have to do is share and it'll override her share. You don't have.
Okay.
Try to be nice and not override me.
Let me get the oh. Yeah, way down here.
Yeah, he has to wade through 48,000 images.
Yeah, more than that.
Lot more than that in this catalog. So this is here we go. So I did take, and just to give people an idea of what you can still almost fake it if you miss it and you're willing to, and just to give an idea of what Blue Hour would have looked like in this scene. I did that with a few images, but the next image coming up I want to go to as well. But I just wanted to show you with color grading, even if you miss Blue hour, you can do some color grading and try and salvage it. And
I
some
like
of these
that.
images were actually fairly salvageable using color grading techniques.
Is this in Lightroom that you did it or in Photoshop?
Some of the ones I did were in Lightroom, and some were using a color grading plugin in Photoshop.
I use Capture One, so I didn't use either of those for mine.
Mm-hmm. But just to let you know that, yeah, okay, as in this is what it would have looked like, it'd be probably even better because this is still faking it, but you can it can still be faked to a certain extent if you have to. Okay.
All right, you done?
Well, next image, if the next image is the one I think it is, I want to keep the screen, which is that the one with the bird on the lake?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just wanted to bring that up to show we missed focus on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the focus is in the back.
Yeah, besides missing blue hour, it was focus, that was missed. It's not even that sharp in the background, but it's what the foreground is where it needs to be was definitely
Kathy, this one you got
definitely missed on.
It's an f5.6, and for something like this, it's much too low of an f-stop.
Yeah.
To get everything. If you were shooting and you were focusing right on the bird, 5.6 would have been all right, and the rest
This
of it
was
would have
the
been out of focus. But
yeah, this was the 16-80 lens, right? I have that lens, and I know if you nail it, it nails it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think it was my first day of using that lens. It was a new lens.
Okay.
Wait a minute. This thing is not saying 16 to 80. This saying is 652 millimeters.
No, 65.2. You're missing the decimal
65.
point.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's 65.2 on a 16-80 lens.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that was the first day with that lens, so I was playing.
Yeah, make sure if you're after birds, you got to get that focus point on the bird.
Yeah.
Okay.
He surprised me, so yeah.
Well, and if he was like smaller and further off into the lake, it wouldn't have been such, he wouldn't have been the major in the middle of the picture subject, so it wouldn't have mattered as much. But because you've kind of made him the primary subject, then he needs to be in focus.
Yeah.
Okay, Jim, next one.
And all right, what's the next one on your list, Lynn?
The next one is hold on. The door.
Okay. I'm gonna unshare.
Okay.
This one is also mine.
The door is Diana Cahill.
Yep.
This would be a great one to pull the values down and add a little extra color in there. And I mean, the color blue.
Yep. And yeah.
Which values would you pull down?
I made it the blue better, bigger.
You can also do if you can just do a sky selection, Lynn, and take the white balance and shift it blue as well, or even do it that way as well. You can do it that way, and then if you just hit the white balance and give it a slide.
What do you want me to do with it?
White balance.
There,
temperature slider. There you go.
Just made it blue hour. Woohoo!
And give it
and by the way, and by the way, since we were talking about it earlier, it's a great example of minimalism.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah. When minimalism comes around, think about this. Remember this image. You can't submit this one again, but remember this.
And bring down the exposure on that for me. Give me a little more drama.
On the
whole image.
Sky.
Oh, okay.
Give me the sky first. Give it. Just bring it down just a little bit. Yes.
Yeah.
Now
you go.
see, that white stands out. Now, now come out of that and then bring down the whole image. And that white will stand out even more.
The lighthouse has both a radial filter and a subject mask on it, bringing it bright twice to have
well,
it pop more.
Well, look at what you have now.
Yeah.
You have a much more dramatic deal that the box or whatever it is standing out more. I'd go a little deeper.
That's yeah, right here. This looks like a quintessential Blue Hour shot right here.
And is that okay to cheat like that?
Cheating is processing.
Creative.
It's also I lightened it a bunch
Because
so
you
we're
also don't
restoring it.
know how much she lightened it from the original. You know,
A
the
lot.
image we got is not necessarily, you know, the original. You know,
You don't take a photo, you make it.
Yep.
That's right.
And then you make it yours even more. That's what post-processing is all about. It's art, not documentary stuff.
Diane, Diane, your image, why did you make it brighter?
Editing in a much brighter room than I usually am.
You gotta be careful about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want you in your imagery to actually go darker, go more dramatic with your images. Your composition stands out, but I don't need it to be as flat as I'm seeing them.
For some contrast.
Okay.
Yeah. Much more contrast.
Okay.
Next one is Pier Pre-Sunrise. And this one is Chris, our new member.
Chris, which one is Chris? Oh, so okay, Chris. Lynn, give me about 200% on that enlargement of that image. I'm not sharply focused here, Chris. Tell me why.
Probably because at the time that I took it, it was kind of dark and I wasn't realizing that it wasn't as clearly focused as it could have.
Were you on a tripod, Chris, or were you
Chris.
holding it?
Actually, no, that was handheld.
Okay.
Yeah, 1/200th of a second. You were hand holding it.
Yeah, it's too. Yeah, you could have upped your ISO and increased your shutter speed a little bit, and you're going to be a little soft with something that distance with a 4-point f-stop.
Yeah, it's probably the 4.0 and you know, whatever, we don't know the quality of the lens, but probably f4 on whatever quality of glass it is probably the most part of that, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I would say you need to be at least 8 or 11. And you know, and then you don't be afraid to increase your ISO, because you can get rid of that afterwards in post-processing.
Yeah, you can deal with noise.
Yeah, it's not like the good old days when noise was a big problem. It's not so much anymore. There's plenty of programs out there that will even Lightroom does a pretty good job of getting rid of noise. So don't worry about the ISO. I shoot sometimes at 20,000. So
So Chris, right behind you is a bunch of sharks. I'm one of them. Make sure you at least give me a point of focus.
Yeah, I gotta have that focus going on. I mean, the sky is pretty, but it's not blue hour again. It's like maroon hour. Magenta hour. That's what they should have, a new time of the day called magenta hour.
Yeah. So Chris, you gonna hang with us?
Oh yeah.
We'll get you there, bud. We'll get you there.
Yeah, like I say, photographically speaking, the phases to think about are it's daytime, then it's sunset, then it's twilight, then it's blue hour, then it gets dark.
Yeah.
And blue hour is when it looks like it's when your eye thinks, oh, it's dark, the very beginning of darkness, that's when your camera says no, that's when your camera says it's blue hour. Time exposure will pull out amazing blue color out of the sky at the point where your eye says, oh, it's dark.
Yeah.
Now, Chris, one last thing, and I know we're belaboring this. After blue hour and at the point where it gets dark, the bars are open.
Yeah, up here. There's a
Yes.
bar up here.
Problem was it was early morning.
Oh, gee. That's true. That's the east.
There you go.
He did. He made it blue hour.
There's blue hour.
Yep. Yeah, the bar isn't open in the morning, unfortunately, but it's a good bar on top of the pier.
Well, it's time to go home at that point.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. I promise it will get better.
Mhm.
All right, next one. This is Lee's, and Lee is not here, but he'll be probably listening to the recording.
Tap the-
He's not here to get his pat on the back.
Yeah.
Tap the letter F for me, Lynn. And enjoy.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean,
This
are
is-
you okay with the fact, I mean, it's because it's blue hour, the snow is blue.
And that's natural. That's for real. It's good because the snow is going to reflect the color of the sky. It's going to absorb and reflect the color of the sky. So it is natural and correct for it to look blue at blue hour.
You know, it's funny to me how people won't accept snow as being blue, but they'll accept water as being blue
Yep.
in
Same
the ocean.
effect.
Frozen water.
Mhm.
Yep. They always want you to make the
It's
snow white.
it's reflecting the color of the sky.
That's
Yep.
all it's doing.
Yep.
So a beautiful image, just to nitpick, go back, please. The cloud that's half cut off on the right side in the middle, is that an issue? Or?
That's a
can
nitpicky
be.
issue, but
Yeah.
yeah, if it were my image, that wouldn't be there. I agree with you on that, Brian.
Brian, I might make you a judge at one point. Only one, though. Yeah.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Did you not straighten it for a reason?
I did straighten it,
Mm,
but I shot it pretty
look at
wide.
look at the outer edge of the gazebo compared to the side of the frame. There's a
Straightened it
tilt
back
there.
and forth, back and forth. I was trying to, make it. This way I shot it with a really wide angle lens, and so it was kind of
Mhm.
distorted. So I try to, fix it that way. But my main thing was trying to get all those people in the
Mhm.
shot.
No, the positions of those three people and actually four people.
No, there's
Right
five
there,
of them there.
5 people.
Oh, no,
There's 6
no.
people altogether, but yeah,
Yeah,
but
there's
as you
six
start,
altogether.
the positioning is perfect. That's fantastic.
Yeah, when I saw
timing.
that, I'm like, oh my God, people don't keep walking.
Oh no, Lynn, I want you to hold on to this one, on this thing. I'm gonna give you an actual critique on this.
Okay.
You've actually destroyed the story by adding the 6th person. You should at some point clone that person out.
Which one? The one in the front or the back?
The person in the front.
Oh,
That
okay.
On the
person
edge-
is on the edge.
On the edge of the frame.
Okay.
Let that little
Everybody
kid-
else is pretty much a silhouette. He's not, and I agree with Robert 100%. It's the other people that are fantastic, and and he kind of gobs that up.
and that little kid at that point, the little kid would be leading, and that image would just stand out so much more.
Well, you know me, I'm not a people taker photographer, so it was very unusual for me to even see this. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Lynn,
Diane said, "Where is this?"
This was at Florida Botanical Gardens
that's what I thought, yeah.
before Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were freezing the tooties off, taking pictures there that night. Next
All
one.
right.
Skipped one. This one is where are we? I lost control.
Pine Tree Filigree is the title you're looking for.
Filigree. Yeah, I lost track of where I was at.
It's
Pine Tree
mine,
Filigree
Lynn,
and-
it's Jan's.
This is
Mhm.
Jan's image. Not blue hour. Well, it's ishy
Yeah.
blue.
Yeah, it's mostly there. It's mostly there.
I'm gonna ask
The blue is descending into the to the horizon, and most of the sky is in the blue hour timing. Yeah, I counted it.
Jan, I'm going to ask you though, compositionally, on the left-hand side. This is a question. It's not a criticism. Why did you crop that edge off there? And if you didn't intended to crop it off because it's leading outward, I think I would clone it so that it doesn't lead outward.
So, okay, so I struggled with that and I didn't know. So are you saying when you say clone it, like put a little bit more sky in there so there's a little
Yeah,
space?
just cut the branch off before it exits the frame.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, just erase it, you know.
Erase the last couple inches of the branch.
Yeah,
Yep.
I played with that. Okay,
Yeah.
now I know.
Just so you
Yep.
don't have it.
Yeah, that'd be
stick
very
out.
simple. Just erase the last few inches of the
Yeah,
branch.
that's just the opposite of things sticking in. You know, you
Yeah.
don't want things sticking out unless it's,
Okay.
you know, and then, or sticking in. So same thing. It's
Okay.
part of edge control, or what is it? Margin control,
Border Patrol.
Border Patrol.
border patrol.
So I
I
have a
have
question.
multiple names for everything, you know. I'm getting old.
So I have a question. I wanted to ask a question on that. I lightened the background because originally, like you were saying, Jim, everything was like a silhouette. Should I have done that, or should I have just kept it dark? I mean, there's a lot of noise.
Now the keeping the bottom half below here, you know, below the tree line, light enough to maintain separation of those tree trunks in the bottom branch from the background is good. The sky could definitely come down in value, but maintaining the actual separation of the tree trunks from the background is a good thing.
Yeah.
And I guess what I'm talking about is more the background, the trees in the background.
No,
I
there's a-
lightened those, and I
Yes.
deliberated between lightening them or just leaving them more silhouette, you know, dark, keeping them dark.
What you did there is fine because, like I say, it maintains separation of your foreground subject from the background. You know, the foreground trees don't bleed into your background, and those trunks don't vanish through that tree line, which is good. Now, up above from where it turns orange, you know, and up in the sky, that could come down in value.
Okay, Doc. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Jan,
Yes, sir.
you're saying okey doke?
I say okey doke all the time, Robert.
My goodness. My goodness.
Okay, next one is Ballast Point Blue Hour. This is Jim's, Jim McWilliams.
Jim McWilliams.
Okey doke.
Oh wait, we're all gonna say it now.
Thanks, Jim.
What?
Your values are a little light for me. I'd like for all of this whole value to come down so that I have a lot more, a lot more feeling of that evening. Yes.
I can make Blue Hour.
Well, yeah, it already was Blue Hour, but you know,
Yeah.
as Robert's talking about, you get more of a nighttime, you know, dark of the morning, or you know, whatever that is morning, obviously, you know, pre-dawn feel with things going darker.
And a little bit of pink is okay, apparently, because that was one thing mentioned earlier.
Yeah, because most of like I say, the majority of the sky is blue. That ribbon on there, you know, 100% transition into blue. You know, we're giving you points for it.
Now, Brian, this is called medium rare.
It's pink in the center, but it's still warm.
Yeah, there's
Oops. So that's just kind of different slope.
I like that treatment a lot better.
Yes.
I just took down the highlights a little bit, Jim, and you know, added a little blue and just barely increased the exposure. I think the water probably should have just done it to the sky because the water's a little dark.
Yeah, but that's the general idea. It gives it gives a whole different emotional impact to the image when you look at it.
It does.
This one is My Town, and it is Karen's.
And
If it's too dark.
Yep.
It could be.
yeah, about 15 minutes too soon. But I have another question on this.
I could make it an hour.
Yeah, compositionally.
Oh, absolutely, Jim. Go at it, because you know I'm gonna know how to do it.
Yeah, compositionally speaking, that warehouse with the big blank white facade in the front takes up such a major portion of the skyline compared to the rest of the actual buildings. Composition, I was wondering why that's made so important in the composition, and why it's or even there at all. Just pull that in, Lynn.
I know why she did it, because of all these lights and reflections.
Yeah, yes.
Which lead me right to a big boring warehouse and away from the Tampa skyline. Now pull up the bottom. Pull up the bottom about keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. A little more. There. There it is.
Just take that light down just a bit. Let me get the lights down. Now the light's just really bright. Would you leave this white light here, Jim and Robert? It's kind of pulls my eye right there. Would it be better without that?
You can, I don't, no, in this case, no, that composition is needed on that side. I actually don't mind it.
Okay.
You could colorize it to make it blue, like the rest of the blue lights. It would be very easy to colorize that and turn it blue and just make it match the rest of the blue lights that are shining on the water.
Right.
So we started here and we ended up here. Well.
Yeah, much different image.
But you're right, Lynn. I did like all the reflections and the lights and.
Yeah, I knew that was probably the answer.
Yeah, the reflections were getting her attention.
Mm-hmm.
This one is Blue Hour Reflections. It's Jim McWilliam.
Mm-hmm.
What is all
Okay,
this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
That's
exactly.
That's exactly it. Yeah, make it go away. Thank you, Lynn. There you go.
What is that?
It's something we don't want to look at. That's what.
Anything else?
There it is. Now see, Jim waited to the right time.
Yeah.
Well, this was in the same session as the Ballast Point Pier. Different lens and looking the other direction.
Yep. So yep.
But it was about the same time
this
in the
is
morning.
Yeah, this is sunrise. You didn't wait until too late is the actual correct thing to say. You shot it early enough and didn't wait until later.
You can see over here, guys, the time.
Actually, I think that's an hour off.
Okay.
Yeah, forgot to take daylight savings time out of the camera.
This is a little, I don't know, noisy. Let's see. Let's do it at 100. That's a little. It's not too bad at 100.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah,
it's not too bad.
Okay. Don't forget about Topaz denoise, guys.
Yep.
Can I ask a question?
Just did.
Okie doke, go ahead.
Would you not pull in like from the left over to like a little bit beyond those beautiful pink buildings? I don't think the stuff on the left really adds anything to it.
You could, because that building's not picking up reflections like the rest of the skyline is. I see the point that you're making, Diana, and I do not disagree with you on that.
Yeah,
because that building's rather flat in coloration and isn't picking up that sunrise glow that the rest of the buildings are. Yeah. Good point, Diana. Thank you for pointing that out.
Next one is we have lots of pictures of Tampa tonight. Woohoo! Tampa cruise at 6:15. This is Brian's.
And I'm going to share my screen, Lynn, because I'm going to use this as a teaching example.
Okay. Let me stop. We have 35 people on tonight. I think this is the most we've ever had for an exhibit.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there's the original. What I want you to see in this is really wide angle lenses sometimes are nice and sharp, sharp enough in the middle, but as you get out to the edges of the frames, they get softer on the edges and sharper in the middle. However, that is fixable. I'm going to show you something. This image is out on the edges, especially. It's noisy and it's fuzzy, but it's not beyond saving. On the left is is Brian's original, and on the right is what, you know, if you're willing to put the effort into it, you can fix that.
How did you fix it?
Denoise and sharpened. I took out the noise and I sharpened it.
Oh, okay.
That's all I did, was take out the noise, and then after the noise was gone, I sharpened it. But you can see it's a world of difference, you know, out there. But that's something, I think you shot this with an 8mm lens. Is that right? Do I remember that correctly?
No, I shot it with my 10-24.
Okay, 10. Okay, all right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the metadata read it out as 8, possibly what might be what I remember. But I say lenses like that can get, you know, it's very typical for them to be soft on the edges, but it's, you know, it's not beyond fixing. So I wanted to show you that.
Jim,
So
when you-
Jim, I have a question. Would you use photo AI versus denoise and sharpen?
This was denoise. This was an AI denoise, Topaz denoise AI, actually followed by Topaz sharpen AI. So it's both AI, both Topaz. I did it with denoise first, and then with sharpening second. And
I thought that they are kind of sort of replacing denoise and sharpen with photo AI
No,
Topaz.
photo AI is like a combination of the three of their, you know, it's denoise, sharpen, and gigapixel, but it's not as refined as the individual programs by themselves.
Interesting. All right, thanks.
Yeah.
So can I ask a question, Jim, of that program? Denoise AI has some focusing capabilities as well as denoise.
Yes, in some of the models it does. You are correct, and you know, as if it, you know, for so that you know, when I do it, I do them as two separate things. So if I'm using a denoise model that includes sharpening, I take the sharpening out. I turn the sharpening sliders down and don't apply sharpening when I'm doing the denoising. And in some of the sharpening models, they have blur removal. But since I've already dealt with that, I zero out the blur removal in any of the sharpening so that I'm strictly doing denoising in one step and strictly doing sharpening in the other. I don't allow the two to do combining, you know.
And I think the answer is obvious, but why is it that you do it that way in two steps?
Because I want to, because you have a lot more control of each step, you know, each way, instead of trying to do it, you know, in one step.
Okay.
You know, yeah, it's much more refined and much more control, because I can choose individual models. You're locked into one model if you try and do it both in one step, but there's several different AI models to choose from when you denoise, you know, and then one of those is just going to have whatever that model has for sharpening. But if I just do denoise and then go to sharpening, then there's nine more models to choose from for sharpening, you know, to see what's the optimum model for sharpening.
Hey, Jim,
Makes sense?
Jim, I got a question. Have you ever tried DxO for this?
Repeat that, you're kind of distorted.
Have you ever tried DxO?
DxO, yeah, I have used some of the older versions of DxO and always liked them, but I don't have any of the current versions of what DxO is doing.
Recently they have been advertising that that they do like local sharpening, that after studying the lenses, they will go in towards the corner and sharpen the corners and not necessarily the mirror. And this is what they're putting in the new ads.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're actually learning what, you know, they have lens modeling going on, and they know what the different lenses do and what the where the lenses are sharp and where the lenses, you know, need help, which is a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that at all. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim, the order that you do it, you do denoise first and then
Absolutely, denoise first and then sharpen, because if you sharpen first, you're sharpening the noise and making the noise more prominent. You don't want to do that. You want to get rid of the noise first, then sharpen, not the other way around.
And when you're in Lightroom, you take all the noise or all the sharpening down to 0 in Lightroom.
Absolutely, that's it. That is a great point, and I just made a video tutorial on all of this last week, and that's a point that I showed in there. Is yes, if you're going to take it to an outside plugin, and do it, zero everything out in Lightroom first so that you're not piling on top of something that's already been done. You don't want anything happening to it to begin with before you take it to an outside plugin. So yes, you're exactly right. Zero out all the Lightroom sliders first.
So Jim, just
I had a question because you mentioned that the photo and it appeared was less sharp on the sides, on the outer edges. So when are you doing the entire image, or you're doing just how are you keeping from getting the center part that's already sharp?
Well, the part of the AI modeling takes care of that. The AI sharpens more where it needs it and less where it doesn't need it as part of the AI algorithm. And if you do it as a separate layer on top of the original anyway, you can always put an elliptical mask at varying opacities, in the center if the model over sharpens the center for you. You can, if you do it on a separate layer, you can put an elliptical mask, through the center that you can, that you can vary the opacity of the mask then to adjust the sharpening.
And Sharpener has a mask part of it in the newer version.
Right.
Yes, the new version does have masking in it. Mhm.
Cool.
I have a question about my image here. Can you go back to the normal image? No,
I stopped sharing so Lynn can go back.
no, I need you to share.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
We don't see you yet. Okay, go back, go to this
Okay. There's your original image.
Okay. That is my original image. Okay, the wrong one got submitted. I submitted a different one where you don't see the other boat. The boat is in front. The big boat is in front of the little boat because I thought that was a distraction that somebody would think the big boat is farther to the left than the image I intended to submit, but I submitted it by accident. So my question is, do you agree that that's a bit of a distraction to have that collision happening there?
If I had both of them to look at and this big boat was further to the left and had seen both of them, I would probably agree with you. I do know that it's visually obvious that there is a distance separation between these and they're not going to collide. Perspective of depth shows that that's much farther back than this, so that honestly didn't enter my mind just because visually on the depth I know they're not going to hit each other, and they do have separation. If they were like overlapping or just about touching, I agree that could have been a problem. There is separation left to right and front to back, so I didn't have any issues with that myself as far as judging this image.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I do want to say about this image, this is an image where I can use more sky. I don't need just that long panoramic look in the sense that it's very narrow. I could use a little bit more sky on this.
All right, good input, thank you.
Hey, Jim.
Obviously it was there.
Jim, could when you talking about the denoise, you said when using the denoise, zero out the sharpening slider. And when using
in Lightroom, before it leaves Lightroom,
right?
Go over here and make sure these are all zeroed out right here.
Right. And then when you're in the denoise and you're denoising it, you zero out the sharpening slider.
Yes, zero out. If you're going, if you just want to do it in two separate stages, yes.
And that's what I
zero out the sharpening part of the denoise, and then when you're in the sharpening, zero out the blur reduction in the in the sharpening part.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, moving on to the next one. This is After Sunset is Nan Smith's.
Is Nan here? No?
I don't think so. Didn't see her.
Okay. All right. I was going to ask about the vignetting.
She shoots most of her stuff with a phone, so that might be something to do with it. Let me see what it says over here. Well, this is Nikon.
Yeah, it could be
D50.
it's probably I don't think the lens is doing that itself. That's added on in processing is my
Right,
guess.
that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
It's added.
18 to
Yeah.
55. So yeah.
Yeah. 18 millimeter lens isn't going to do that inherently.
Yeah.
So that would be my question about it.
This is Jack's
Mhm.
Bon Voyage.
Okay, what's wrong with it?
Fine, guys. We're already
Well,
at 9 o'clock. We still have to do all.
Hold on here. It's not so much what's wrong with it. It's just that you've given me equal values throughout. Your blue value, your sunset value, and your water values are all very similar. So dark in the bottom, dark in the top, enrich bring the orange value down so that the boat still becomes my central focus, but all of them now are competing with each other as far as tonal values. So if you're going to do that, give me a gradient on the bottom, give me a gradient on the top.
How far?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's good.
Yeah, just pull down the values, pull down the exposure.
Oops, went too far.
All right, you're forcing me down. That's fine. Do the same thing, and I'll run another one on the bottom, different one, and make it a little darker. Start about that, a little bit higher up. Oh, go ahead. Just keep going. Keep going. Just push it up. Push the center part up just a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Now start your gradient up, and then bring the exposure down. Yeah. Now we're talking. See, now it becomes more depth in there.
And do me one other favor, looking at this composition, Lynn, while you're there.
Yeah.
Crop up about 1/3 of the way through the water from the bottom. Look, yeah, just a little more. Give me a little more. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, thank you.
Now tap the letter F on this. Now they don't all have equal value. They have now it seems like the ship boat is further away now. So I have that darkness in the foreground is leading me to the light, and then the darkness up in the sky is bringing me back down.
And bringing up from the bottom gave the illusion of magnifying everything that's the subject.
Right. Okay, but
it made the boat and the twin spans of the bridge more prominent by bringing up that that bottom crop line.
Yeah, seemed to bring it closer. Yeah.
Yes, it appeared to bring it closer to the viewer. It's an optical illusion, but it appeared to bring it. It appeared as though you just zoomed in further with the lens.
Yeah, I was in my rowboat and I moved a little closer to the bridge. Right. It makes sense. Now, just to let you know what my thinking was, when you put the crop pattern on there, the original one, it was on the bottom line of the crop. I put the bridge right on the bottom part of it, thinking, you got to go to reset.
Yeah, if you pull that down, I see what you're talking. You're putting the horizon on a rule of thirds line. I get it, but.
But this is one time where I shouldn't have done that. Yeah.
Like I say,
makes sense.
Yeah, know when to, break the rules like an artist.
Well, it does make a difference. Yeah.
Is that a wide angle lens?
Yes, it's pretty wide. It's 80 millimeters compared to how far that bridge is from the land.
Okay.
But I wanted to get as much bridge as possible.
Is that the 16 to 80 at 80 mil?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, that's the same lens the Heron was shot with.
Right. Yeah, I like that lens, and I think you told me you like it too, Jim, don't you?
Yeah, as a general purpose. Lens. Yeah, that's a whole purpose lens. Yeah.
I had my telephoto lens, but I wanted to get more of the bridge, so that it just felt better. It looked better to me to do that.
Yep.
Jim, for those of us that don't have a lot of lenses, with a 24-5 do that?
Not much more.
No, I'm saying, I mean, could I get that perspective, that wideness with the 20?
Oh yeah, yeah. You could stand on the spot and get the same perspective with that lens.
Because I can shoot it, go to 80.
Now, Now, are you putting that lens on a full frame sensor or a crop sensor?
Full.
Yeah, you still have enough range
definitely
to.
would.
You still have enough range to do it at the long end of that range, because he shot this at 80 on a crop sensor.
Yeah,
So
it's about the
on your
same.
camera, it's right around 140. Would be what you need to get the same. You need about close to the. Want to be around the 140 millimeter.
Yeah, I don't have that.
End of your lens to get the same perspective.
Yeah,
on a
but
full
mine
frame.
only goes to 105.
Well, at 105, it'd be wider than this.
Okay.
Yeah, if it only goes to 105, you'd be wider on a crop sensor than this. But then you take a high quality image and you crop in.
Yeah.
Then you crop in on your final image in Lightroom.
Right.
You don't have a 70 to 200?
I have a 70 to 200, but I don't use it much. It's heavy.
Well, that would do it, because you put that lens at 140 and you'd have this exact composition.
Okay, got it. Okay, that's a good idea, Lynn. I do have that lens.
Next, this one is Day's End. This is Sylvia's. Let's make it bluer.
Great composition.
Oh, an excellent composition.
Yeah,
If,
my photo kills.
if you want to, if you want to see it blue, I've got it.
I love it. If I knew then what I knew now, I would have done better, I think.
Yeah, if you want a fake blue hour, there's a fake blue hour for you. If you just want to see it as an example.
Yeah.
Sylvia.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes.
Sylvia, you let me down.
I did.
Yeah.
Until she did this one.
And then you did that one.
Bingo. Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's fantastic.
Sylvia.
Yes, sir.
You and Doris should get together.
I can't compete with Doris.
Doris brought one of the most famous images that she's ever shot into critique one night and got rave reviews, and then she brought another one that same night.
I know.
Is this a recent image?
Yes, I took that.
Okay, because during the pandemic, they had that bridge closed, so it's good to see that's open.
Yeah, this was Monday night. This was the night the Bucks lost the football game. So.
If you're spending time on there, Lynn, just say select sky and darken it just a bit. Let's just see what that looks like.
There you
go.
Yeah.
Now just pull the exposure down just a bit.
A little more. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now I can make it blue.
Yeah.
There you go. Still room for improvement. It's a great composition, but yeah, look at that. Thank you, Lynn. That's gorgeous.
I have looked at that thing so many times and never figured out how to shoot it. And I love this. Thank you.
Yep.
You will be seeing this from
Sylvia
me.
just taught us all something.
Oh my God, I love it.
Thank you very much.
It is Blue Light Goddess. This is Valerie's.
Valerie, it's not in focus. Zoom in on that, Lynn. Just zoom in on it.
Valerie, unmute yourself.
What happened there?
I don't know.
It was too dark.
It was too it was too dark for the camera to focus. That'll happen.
I was hand holding it too.
Oh yeah, that can cause that. Yeah.
No better data.
Yeah, there's no data to look at to know.
I had a picture of a house with my granddaughter and my mom in the window, and the sky was nice and blue, but I just didn't like it. So I went somewhere else to try to get pictures, but it's so dark up here, and I had like 2 days without rain. So it was difficult blue hour, but.
Yep.
Valerie.
You shot at the right time. You just missed focus. That's all.
Yeah.
Valerie, bring me that other shot you described. It sounds like a great story.
Yeah. Don't forget, this is about telling stories as well. So
where is Valerie located?
California. California.
Okay, all right.
I love it.
This one is early morning, Lee Win.
Lee Win, are you there? Oh, come on. Don't tell me she left us.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm turning on the mic.
Okay. I looked at this photograph and I said, did she put the moon in there? And
No, I did enlarge a little bit. I didn't put a moon there. The moon was there.
And I said, okay, the reason why it could have been there is because there are no clouds behind the moon.
What?
I said, there are no clouds behind the moon.
That's the way they're supposed to be.
I know. You remember when she turned in a shot.
Oh, you're talking about, okay, thank you for reminding that. Yeah, that was the full moon morning was.
Clouds in behind the moon.
Well, here's in this particular shot. I want to bring the attention down to the guy at the bottom and not so much on the moon. So give me a gradient. Give me a gradient out of that. And start about 3/4 of the way down. Oh, no, yeah, about right there, and then come down. And then just bring the values down. Let the moon go down. Let all of it come down on exposure.
Lynn, you know, if you hold the shift key, that gradient will pull straight up and down, right?
I know, I forget.
And then just add a little bit of blue in there so that moon becomes much more delicate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, that's what I love to hear you say that because I mean that.
Hey, that's why you guys are great teachers.
So now the blue and the red, they are working together.
We started here and we went here. Is this crooked to me? It looks crooked to me.
Is it?
It's something bugging me about it. It might just be my eye. I don't know. It's just like trying to find something straight. Yeah, it's off.
That looks crooked now to me.
You're crooked now.
Yeah, now it looks crooked.
Yeah, that was really crooked.
Yeah, it was an overcorrection. Halfway in between. Halfway in between was where it should be.
Yes, well, something like this, it's hard to find a spot that would help you straighten it because you really don't have a horizon.
You just don't use that tool. Just go next to the crop and just manually just rotate just clockwise just a hair. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's it. There it is.
Just off a tad. That's better. Now I just feel like the water's going that way.
Oh, so now it becomes a whole different feeling now.
Yes.
This shot.
Yes.
Would you take the guy's red coat up? Make his red coat a little more red?
Just you have to be careful and not to go too far and over exaggerate it, but yeah, just a touch would be acceptable.
And then a little.
You put a more red on it?
No, just brighten it up just a little bit.
I'd be inclined to increase the reflection of the moon on the water too.
Wait a minute, who said that?
Barry.
Sounds like Barry's here.
Oh yeah.
He finally showed up.
I mean, I know that voice anywhere.
Got that voice of the.
Hey Barry, I have your print that you left at the Christmas party.
Oh, thank you. Wondering where that got
it's in my laptop bag. I'm saving it till I see you again.
Okay, thanks.
There's a song that goes with that too, Barry. You know what it is?
No.
When will I see you again?
Okay, we started here and we ended up here.
All right.
All right.
Okay. All right. Very good.
This one is also Lee Wynn's. It's called Prayer or Symbol of Prayer.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yep. And yes, the snow reflects the sky color and is supposed to be blue. Yep.
This one is Blue Veterans Memorial.
Hey Lynn.
Yeah.
It's black and white, which kills all, all information that it's actually blue. Go to the color grading.
Color
Just
grading.
go to the color grading panel.
Color grading, way down here.
There it is, right there. Take the midtones. Just pull that circle in the middle all the way out to the blue. There you go. Keep going, and then do the midtone. I mean, do the shadows and the highlights. Just do the same thing. Okay.
Everything's blue.
All right, there it is.
So I got a question about this. Sorry, I'm joining late if you already covered it, but I always thought that blue hour was like a cool time to do black and white because of how the soft tones affect contrast. So I guess that's my question. I didn't realize blue hour meant it must be blue. I thought it was just taken at blue hour. Over.
Yeah, now you are correct. It is a good time to do black and white photography, but yeah, for purposes of the assignment, we wanted to see that it's actually, we want to see the blue hour in it. Other than it, the title might say that it was blue hour in a black and white. There's no information other than your title that indicates that it's, blue.
Wouldn't it be better without the two upper corners, the left?
Yeah,
and right?
Brian, you're spot on again.
So I actually left those corners in. It was an artistic choice because it's the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, and so the angle is designed so the names slowly evaporate like they're leading up to the sky. And I was going for a comment about the human toll that disappears. So that's a purposeful thing.
Tom, this is Robert here. Well, you can see me. I can't see you, but I want to
point out. Robert. I'm waiting in the dark.
I've been in the dark all my life since the day I was born. Oh, that'll hit you later. But Tom, here's what I want you to know about an artistic choice. Don't give me subtlety. If you're going to do that, give me the widest angle lens you can and lean it the furthest back so that there is no ambiguity in what you're doing. Right now, this is way too subtle, that small portion for me to grasp, but there is something more that's going on there.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to go further.
You could have shot it in a portrait mode and you would have gotten a much wider angle. I mean, we don't have any information here. So did you shoot this with your camera or your phone?
If I remember correctly, this was a wide angle lens designed for macro, actually. Yeah. I think it was like that Laowa wide angle.
Yeah, probably if you had turned it the other way, you would have gotten more of the effect that you were going for with that disappearing names. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess my main thing is I'm a bit surprised by the requirement that blue hour has to be not black and white. It'd be cool to get maybe that clarified for future projects where there's like a very specific desire. Over.
Yeah, I get your point, but I want to go back. Just make sure that you understand what I'm saying about something having meaning.
Yeah, heard. Got it. That makes a lot of sense, and I took a note of that. Over.
Okay.
You got our Army guy telling us over. All right.
Sorry, it's a habit.
It's okay. We know you're done. This is also Tom's.
This would be a color grading beauty.
Another one?
Exact same thing.
So it has a lot of that color, but I took it out because I was going to the black and white. Yeah.
This would totally be a color graded beauty right here.
Yeah.
Absolutely a color graded beauty.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%.
I think I would take the highlights down. Come on.
Highlights, yeah. Absolutely, 100%.
Shows up just a little bit. There you go.
So I rarely take the whites down. Why did you make that decision, Lynn?
Because
Well, who's driving Lightroom?
I'm driving, but he's telling me what to do.
Okay, but you took the whites down instead of bringing them up. Why did you make that decision?
Because it's way too bright.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's blown out. In fact, there's no information right here.
Yeah.
I would
that up to be my max white on the black and white. So that's why there's no data there.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, and let's talk about what's going on with that question, Brian. In that question, right? I mean that what you're asking, you're in a black and white mode right now, and all of your information is going to the upper right hand side with all that white is, and that white is taking me out of the page. What's my main subject here?
The thing, yeah.
Right. And because of that white taking me off of the page, out of the page, I'm following that bright light out. And you want to hold your subject, hold your people, your viewer into your subject.
Right. So, okay, but my question is, why whites and not exposure?
I'll tell you, Brian, in Lightroom, you have a lot more finesse with the white slider than you do with the exposure. The exposure is more, really sledgehammers the effect versus the white. If you want to have finesse, you use the white slider. If you want to pound the effect through, you use the exposure slider.
It does that. I just a little bit, and if I take everything else down, and I move this, you see what you're getting?
All of your
midtones,
everything
with the white.
Mm-hmm.
It's targeting the upper tones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And last but not least on the assigned is, this is Nona's Colorado After Sunset.
Yes, this is mine. This was Sloan's Lake in Denver.
I would suggest content aware fill, clone, etc. Take out the white in the upper left corner.
Yeah, it's too bright.
That bright spot draws the eye over to there. If that were blue, clouds like the rest of it, then you would really hold to that subject of the island over in the lake. Yeah. It's that white over in the corner pulls you out to that corner of the frame.
Okay.
Always watch your light spots. On any image, make sure that if it's going to be bright, then it's got to be part of what you're trying to say. If it's not part of what you're trying to say, then get rid of it.
Okay.
All it does is it pulls. You got to remember your eye is always going to be pulled to. There's three things that your eye is pulled to: brightness, words, and people.
Right.
If they're not part of what you're trying to say, get rid of them.
I have a question for you, because I toyed with whether to do this or not. In the left-hand corner, there's a little house where it's coming out, and I didn't want to cut. Well, I want to cut off the road because there's trail lights from the cars, and I was concerned I'd be cutting off.
You can just
clone it. Okay.
Clone that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
that's okay. In this,
I could like do this. I mean, this is kind of butchering it, but
there you go. That'll do it.
Okay.
Bye.
I didn't know if that was acceptable or not to take.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, try that up in the top left corner, Lynn.
Yeah,
just give it a shot.
Help me pronounce your name.
Nona.
Okay, Nona. If you presented and I wasn't there, I didn't see it, then I don't know that it wasn't there.
Just zoom out, Lynn. Just zoom out to where it says fit, and you can get around all that.
Okay, I wasn't sure because sometimes don't want you to in, so I left everything. But anyway,
Nona,
yes.
you ain't in that group.
Well, that's good to hear. I wish I could stay to hear the comments on my other two images, but I have to run. Otherwise, I'm going to get killed here because it's way past dinner time in Denver.
Okay, well, let's do this. Let me quickly go to yours over here on the general side. We have been taking an amount of time here. Since that was the last of the assigned. Let's see, where are yours? You're at the very end again. So yeah, she'd be here until.
Yeah.
Let's do the last two here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
In your general image, you want to know about this image?
Yeah.
What do you want to know that you don't already know that is powerful?
Yep.
Are you asking me?
I'm telling you.
The face, yeah.
What about the face?
Well, it kind of, with the face, this is a trumpeter swan.
Uh-huh.
And you're able to actually tell that it is a trumpeter swan by the way the V comes up.
Okay.
And it was on a cloudy day, so there wasn't a whole lot of contrast in it, and I didn't know whether to make more contrast in it or not. So
your cloudy day was perfect for this, and
Yes.
and gave you what you needed for this image. Thank goodness you did shoot it on a cloudy day.
It would have been way too bright. I mean, it is a little on the bright side, but that's easily fixed.
The fact that the animal's face is aligned straight on to you, and the body is going at an angle. It's a lot of great impact that you have right there.
Yeah, there's strong visual impact and connection with the animal, and it's a nice soft tone, high key image as well.
Yeah.
I
just took the highlights and the whites down just a little bit to see, so you could get a little bit more of the texture of the feathers here.
Go ahead and tap the letter F for me on that, Lynn, and you'll see that we're enjoying.
Yeah.
So very effective.
Yep.
All right, before you get killed, what was your other one?
The last one.
The last one? That's yours?
Yep.
Open wide, baby.
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here and go do whatever you need to do, because you nailed this one.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Well, my scores don't sound like I nailed it.
Hey, that's actually not a bad score at all.
Well,
What was the score on it, Lynn?
23.9.
Yeah, that's a high score.
That's a high score.
Yeah.
And in general, you did. That's not even with a bonus point. That in general, that's a damn high score.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just telling you, don't ever hold yourself up to ask me questions like this.
Okay.
Bring
All
in
right.
such great images. So go do whatever you need to do.
Yeah. Okay. I appreciate it. Thanks. And I'm going to go back and listen to all your other critiques because they're really wonderful and I'm learning a lot from them. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks,
Can we
Valerie.
do my other blue hour shot before we get our brain out of there? It was right there, Lynn. You were right on it.
Yeah, we'll get it. I'll move it later.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I'll move it. Don't worry about it. I'll get it out of there later. Okay, this one is the Centec years. This is Jan Keys.
Jan, I only wish that your composition was slightly different.
Okay.
And can you tell me where I want that cylinder at the end to be?
More to the left. You need to walk to the left.
Yes.
Oh,
3 steps to the left.
okay. All
So
right.
there's something, I don't know. The only problem is, I guess there is something, there looks like there's some distance between here and there. So what he's looking for is separation from here, right here.
Okay, doc. All
Less
right.
field here and more something of right here. I don't know. You might have not, this thing is pretty wide, Robert. That's the only thing. I don't know if it would have just covered the whole spot.
Yeah, I think I was going more, and I don't know why, but I think I was dead center, and I probably was thinking more of a symmetric thing.
Yeah, I know what Robert's getting at. There's there's a whole set of leading lines, and then that's off kilter of where everything leads to.
And then once I get to the back there, then I get to a field, and that field is taking me nowhere.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you're saying I should have moved her to the left a little.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying what you should have done. I'm saying what you could.
Okay, but that's right now. That's about the same thing, Robert.
Yeah. I don't tell people what
it would have been.
I wasn't there.
Yeah. It would have been still, leading lines, but off at a little slightly better, a little slightly angle, which would have still worked.
Yeah, the target would have been more centered in the lines.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all.
All right, I got it. Thanks.
And there's a nice warm feeling. I love the
light. That warm tone to the whole thing is wonderful. I have to agree with Robert on that.
Yeah,
that's a great emotion of color feel.
Beautiful feeling on that.
Thanks, guys.
This one is Dom's. Great, that great scaling he does is just
Yeah,
great.
he is so excellent at the grayscaling. You're absolutely right, Lynn.
Is Don here?
Dom, he was here earlier. I don't know if he's still here.
I'm on.
Oh, he's on.
Don.
Okay. Dom.
DOM, Don.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just would like a little more contrast between the separations.
Okay, explain that.
I think what Robert is saying, the interior, the values in the interior match the values in the exterior or in this other room. The next room is all at equal value to this room or this exterior. I can't tell whether you're outside or inside where you're taking it.
That's
but
correct.
through the door is all equal values.
All this is the
Oh,
same.
okay, all right.
Yeah, it should be like different. Each one different.
I wanted your ride to be on the light.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the light in the back room.
Yeah.
It takes the three-dimensionality out of it and brings it more into two dimensions. It flattens the perspective.
Well, I'll take a look at it. And,
You know what this reminds me of, Jim?
Yes, we actually know New Mexico.
The doors in New Mexico. Yes.
Yeah.
Chaco Canyon.
Yeah.
This was actually a 2-bedroom dollhouse that was actually the size of a small little home.
Oh, wow.
The grandfather built this for the daughter about 50 years or so prior, and they did nothing with it after, I think he passed and then she died, and the brother lives on the property down from this, and they just let it decay.
Well, good subject though.
Yep.
Yeah, very depressing, but nice. I will look at that and I will work on that.
See,
Okay,
you're
thank
so
you,
good at
Dom.
that grading. You just need to get the picture. You've got all the grays and the blacks and the whites graded. You just need to get the picture itself
depth.
graded.
The depth through the front to back
depth
through
is
the
on.
rooms. Yep.
The doors we're talking about are actually in an ancient, it was brought out of the dirt. And the roof there's no longer any roof over there. And if you stand in the right spot at the right time of the day, every single door has a different shade.
Okay,
So it's made out of stone.
So are you thinking darkening those side walls as you're going towards the back? Okay,
Yeah, just make each one of these a different value.
gotcha.
Yeah, so they don't look so flat.
Uh-huh.
Okay. This one is calm October morning is his rods.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not here, is he?
No, I don't think so. I think this is just a little too light. But he may have wanted, some people like.
Yeah, that's, in something like this, that's an artistic, subjective thing. Very peaceful image.
Yep.
Very, yep.
Very nice, smooth water.
Mhm.
And he only used 1/10 of a second, so it wasn't a long exposure. So it was actually really smooth water. This one is Karen's.
Karen,
Yes, sir.
Karen, you just made me a happy man.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, top-down lighting almost never works in your favor. And this is like that, like that one time out of 100 times where when you have a person in your shot and you can make top lighting work for you.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, this is really cool.
Great. But is it minimalist?
No.
No, too much stuff up here.
If you completely cloned out the dragon motif,
Oh, yeah.
close enough,
Yeah.
but not with that, not at all.
Okay.
A little too much stuff.
Thank you.
But Karen, you handled that really well.
Thank you.
Yep. This one is Sunrise Lupines is Diana Cahill's.
Mhm.
Diana, I
So
want to
this is
take.
the morning. This is the sunrise after the blue hour.
Diana, in this case, I want to just see what would happen if I take out that right-hand side, that darkness on the right. just want to move that out of there. Just there you go, right there, in there. And I know it's a little heavy. I mean, it's a little awkward on the composition in this manner, but I'm that darkness on the right-hand side, I either bring that value up or recompose the shot. And I was wondering what
that looks like a tower.
It's a power pole.
Yeah, get rid of it. Bye-bye. Not a very good job, but just get rid of those power poles.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is it just that the darkness on the side is like too heavy for the edge?
Yeah, it's way
Yeah,
too
it's a little heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could try to lighten it up, but it's also doesn't look like it's in focus. So you're better off just because this is nice and focused and you got a lot of contrast here, which is great. So just get rid of that because it's
Okay.
like, not necessary.
Okay.
This was Chris has left. Was
Okay.
Chris one of your students, Robert?
Chris?
Yeah.
I'm
Barricky?
not sure.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure.
Chris, I'm not sure.
Barricky. Yeah.
I know Dave is.
Okay. No, he must be something
Mhm.
just is one of our new people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's-
This for everybody's sake. First off, I think I'd get rid of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't get rid of all of it, but
At least the red one. Yeah. And there's and the really bright leaf in the back, there's something sticking up behind that leaf back
yeah,
there.
this looks like a artifact or some kind.
Yeah, there's and it's a really tiny low res image.
Yeah,
You're
it's
practically
really
working
small.
on a thumbnail there.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just and this is the part that's in focus. The rest of it really isn't. So
Yeah. It more depth of field and a few other issues.
yeah, just get a little rid of that thing. And yeah, it's just he had a good idea. He just didn't get it. He didn't do it right. I mean, and it probably needs to be like.
Yep, the artistic thought is there. The execution, the execution needs more.
It will work. Yeah. Okay, next one is this one is Kathy's Mountain Draw. And Kathy,
And
why
it-
did you call
and-
this
and it's-
altered reality?
It's
I'm
altered
sorry,
reality.
what? Why is it? Because those mountains are red.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get the colors or the shadows and the colors right with the red. So
Yeah, I looked at that and was like, okay, that's an interesting choice, going with that kind of violet, magenta, purpley, and it's marked as altered reality. So I'm like, okay, that's an artistic choice for some reason. And I had the same question. I was like, okay, what's the reason?
yeah,
But
I tried it in black and white and that didn't
Uh-huh.
show up anything. And the
Mhm.
red and green didn't show up.
do I remember correctly? You shot that with the 50 f1, not at f1, of course, but
Oh gosh, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's 50 f8.
But it shot at f8. But I think it was the 50 millimeter f1 lens. Is it not? Yes, it is.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Have you shot it any at f1.0? I'd love to see some f1.0 images from that lens.
Oh, you know what? I had I took that lens and I used it the whole week I was out there. And
I'm just curious if you've actually used the f1 capability of it yet and done anything
I
with that.
have, but I moved away from that a little bit. I tried that at first,
Uh-huh.
but it's a great lens, but
Mhm.
I was just trying to learn how to use it properly.
Right. I was just curious. Okay, yeah, f1. I would just wondered push to the maximum. If you had done anything creative with that, then I'd be curious to see. So okay, that was my question.
Any other comments on this picture, guys?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
If you would.
I'm just not quite sure why your choice of color grading.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of want to remove all the color from this altogether.
They shall do that if we would like.
Yeah, now give me some contrast, lots of contrast.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad in black and white. I think it's better.
I like it better
I
in
think black and white's an
Yeah.
improvement myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the unnatural color, actually takes me away from looking at the image and just makes me keep scratching my head about why that color.
Okay.
I mean, you can take it really to the extreme. I mean, ideally you would do this, you do the contrast in, you know, bits and pieces here. You can darken up some of these darker spots and make them darker. And so that there's some difference. You could use the, you know, the masking brush to do that. You know, do something like just a quickie here. Just, you know, like you want to see a difference right here. So you would darken a little bit of this up just to make the, you know, show the differences between these different areas. And you could do that pretty quickly, even like a little bit here. I'm just being really rough with it.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's, you know, how you can use black and white and use your brushes to, you know, your masking brushes to, and I think you don't use Lightroom, so you probably can do this in On1 as well.
You can do this in On1
Yeah.
rather easily.
Yeah.
Now I want you to, in On1, you can select the sky. Go ahead and select the sky in this one, because On1 has a great sky selector. And I want you to bring that value down. Just pull the exposure down. Let that be your edge by pulling it down. There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Now we can actually, it holds us in without taking us out.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, in infrared, we shoot, you know, it's mostly in black and white. And when you shoot infrared, your sky is almost always black, which just makes things just, you know, especially if it's a clear sky. So yeah. Okay, on to the next one here. This one is bison in the distance. It is Garrett's.
Garrett, Lynn, open up that. Yeah, we're a little tight on the top, but open up the bison just a little bit.
I don't know if this will.
Yeah, just do it with the brush.
Isn't that a better composition right there than the whole?
Oh, absolutely. You got a better composition right here. Yeah, just open that up a little bit.
Yeah,
that's all.
I created some issues here, but
a color fringe.
Yeah,
but
that's all right. Now, as Brian pointed out, I can come up from the bottom on the crop.
Oh yeah. Yep. There you go.
And I'm not so sure if I've come now. No, you're good. You're good there.
Right there. Yeah. Yeah. Just past those tall things on it. Yeah, there you go. And the sliver of sky is you know, is definitely an issue at the top. Yeah. So, yeah, just take that sky out of there.
That's okay to cut into it.
You cut into the
yeah.
It's better to cut into the tree than just leave that itty bitty sliver of sky. Yeah. There you go.
Much better.
Much better.
Much better on that. And one last thing, because I have a foreground that's light, give me a gradient on the bottom that will lead me into that bison. Keep going on up. Yeah, keep going. Right about there. That's good. Just lower the
I dropped it too
lower
quick.
the
Dropped my shift key too quick.
That's okay. It's all right. It's just
there you go.
Just so that I'll get to that bison a little quicker.
Good job.
There you go.
All right, on to the next one. That's mine.
Oh my gosh.
This is a multiple exposure.
Very nice. Very, very cool.
What did you pay for that lens, Lynn? It's so blurry.
This is
you move the camera around.
the one thing I would suggest, because this is such a cool image, to refine it is upper right. There's some dark and sharp tree branches just coming in at the upper right that are, you know, incongruous with the rest of what's going on with the trees.
I don't know how. I think I saw that and I couldn't figure out how to get rid of it without messing up the lines.
The pattern that's going on that you have there. Yeah. Because that pattern's going to be a hard thing to duplicate into that place and look real. Yeah.
Jim, when you say incongruence, it sounds so sexy to me.
Okay, moving on. This is Lee's. This is fresh snow.
I don't know how to do this, but that top branch that's leaning into the top of the tree, no, not that one.
This one?
That one right there. I wish I could cut that off.
Robert, I've got your back.
Oh, okay.
There's the original. There's your fix.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
And, yeah.
Oh, we got rid of a few
Not
more.
just that one, but but this one and this one as well.
Oh my
They're-
goodness, thank you,
yeah.
Jim.
You know,
Thank you
tree
very
trimming.
much.
Mhm.
You and I are on the same page. There you go.
The tree trimming has been done.
Thank you so much. I'm looking at this going, come on, come on.
All right, this one is also Lee's.
Mhm.
I'm just wondering if this just looks like he converted it to black and white and then left these two little red things.
I don't understand why he left why the red is there. It's drawing too much attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, it pulls my eye there, but it pulls my eye to, just some stuff that doesn't matter compared to the rest of that gorgeous
Yeah.
scene.
Yep. Great scene, but just that red.
It seems like, well, I don't know, there's yellow there. So maybe it is all, I mean, I just can't believe these pine trees are this color. I don't know.
It is. Yeah.
I don't know what he was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, this one's Dom's Skyline Building.
It looks like you've mastered this black and white separation thing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
We love seeing these.
And Kathy, notice the dark sky. The dark sky, and I'm sure it wasn't like that when he pictured this, but it separates, makes that building just stand out like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
With black and white, you can do that. Yeah, black and white doesn't have to be realistic looking.
The person that I follow, actually, I started with architectural interest about a year or so ago when I went to visit a buddy of mine in Denver. You've seen a couple of pictures, the Denver Museum and the Denver Art Museum. And I started looking at the pictures of this woman. Her name was Julia Anna Gaspadaro. She's Greek. It doesn't make any difference, but she happens to be Greek. You have to look at her photographs, and they're just magnificent. So if you're looking for an inspiration for doing architecture,
Why don't you post her name in the chat so that we can get it correct and look for her?
Okay, it's a brutal one to spell. Okay, so it says good night. This is to everyone.
Yeah, if you want to make sure if you have it and can post it in the chat, that'd be great.
I just did. Hang on.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
All right, Dominique, one more thing.
Go ahead.
All right, along with that person inspiring you and us correcting you, you got a good combination going here.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, this one's great.
Yeah, no corrections here.
No.
Thank you.
This looks like, when I first looked at it, I said, why did they take a picture of Jesus with his glasses on?
He captured my inner aura perfectly.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Flowing hair.
Reminds me of my college days.
This is Brian's image.
Yep.
Yes.
Brian. When I first saw this, I thought it was John Lennon. Brian, I mean this sincerely. This is super creative.
Thank you.
And you may have 2022 may have lost your mojo then. You got it back here.
You got your mojo back this year. Yeah, because this was a golden teddy bear over at Channelside. We had so much fun with that stupid golden teddy bear. Oh my God.
But this is a CD album cover, a poster. This is a whole bunch of things.
I'm glad you like it. I had to work on it. It didn't come out of the camera like that.
And it should be worked on.
Have that made into black light.
Yep.
Beautiful image. Really beautiful.
Thank you, Brian.
Yep.
I was hoping you'd like that one, Jim.
I'm flattered by that one. I like that one a lot.
Well, Brian has just made an image of his what do you call it, protege? Is that what it is?
His hero.
His hero. That's what it is.
Mentor.
Mentor. That's it.
This one is Sylvia's.
Sylvia. This is straight out of a movie.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Wow, Sylvia. That's incredible. That's just awesome.
That's storytelling, clarity, impact, all of it, every piece of it.
Composition.
I like his little peep.
Yeah, the smaller bird's head framed within the wing of the other bird. Everything came together so beautifully in this one.
Yeah, this one's great.
Thank-
Very, very
thank you.
Florida-y.
My favorite, one of my favorite places, Circle B.
Circle B.
Yeah, good old
Either
Circle
a good
B.
day or a bad day at Circle B.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I caught a peregrine falcon there yesterday, believe it or not.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
On the wing. I didn't even know what it was I was shooting. It was right, it was going by so fast. I got home and caught it on the computer. I about died. This one is Fong's just after sunset.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip this right here. I'm not gonna say very much about it, and I'd like Fong to be here whenever I make a comment on her stuff from that point forward. So, but I want to go to the next one. Jack. Jack. I need you to explain a few things here.
Yes.
All right. Look at that foreground.
Oh yeah, we're gonna look at that.
Jim's in the house.
Okay.
Yes.
You gave me that foreground for what purpose?
Well, that was part of the pier, and it was where it was anchored to shore. And that's the part out in the water, and it's all dilapidated.
I'm talking about the foreground.
The foreground, the rocks.
Yes.
That was part of the pier structure.
That's part of the pier structure.
Yeah. Why? You don't think it fits? I thought it kind of pointed
How
toward
did you do that, Jim?
What?
How did you create something where there was nothing?
Because I'm an artist. I can create happy little trees and friendly little clouds, and I can separate rocks.
I would take this one out.
Yeah, but like I say, yeah, that's the fact that they go out of the frame right here.
Yes.
You know, really pulls you to the bottom of the frame. If you're going to have them in there, I realize they're a pointing element. If you want to have them as a pointing element, you know, to give some separation to them from the base.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see what you're saying. This is
Go ahead, Jack. What were you saying?
No, I understand. So you're saying it was too anchored, too chopped off right down there?
Yeah. Now I had two different photographs. That the bottom half had no purpose to the upper half.
Okay.
Jack,
I saw a purpose to it because it was part of what was once a pier. And it also pointed to the part that was out there. That was what I was seeing when I saw this structure.
Yeah, and I understood that, and that's why I said, well, then fix the problem with it.
Yeah, that does make a better picture, no question about it.
Take this big old hunky one out, Jim.
Possibly. Yeah, I can't see your mouse, but yeah.
Yeah,
all I wanted to do was very quickly, separate them from the bottom.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mr. Jimbo.
Okay, either that or what, Robert? You would have cropped them out completely.
Completely. If they don't, there's no real anchor there. I really hate to publicly give Jim the credit for this, but Jim made your photograph.
Yeah. And the other version, but what I just wanted to be sure I understand your point. The other version would have been just leave them out completely and crop that all out.
I'll let it go.
You can crop up from the bottom on this, and right there. Okay. And by the way, minimalism.
Minimalism, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
100% minimalism.
There we go.
Okay. Watch out for the next one.
Not minimalism.
Yeah.
Minimalism.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
All right. Next one is
that's Barry's, isn't it?
That's Barry's. Yeah.
Barry, you come in here and then you give me hit or miss, hit or miss, hit or miss. Well, you hit on this one.
Yep.
I
Well,
think the only thing I would do on this one, guys, because I'm the bird lady, give him a little more texture. Probably. Yeah, he doesn't use a Lightroom either, I don't think.
What do you use, Barry?
DxO Photo Lab.
Yeah.
DxO Photo Lab, you can do this the exact same thing you're doing in Photo Lab. Are you on 5 or 6?
6.
6. Oh, absolutely.
I'm giving him a little more structure. I masked him and I'm giving him just a little more because his feathers were a little flat. I know that's the bright.
Yeah, this
light.
is right at sunset, so the lighting was real flat. Yeah.
So I'm giving him a little more contrast in his body. See that? Actually, that's not it. That's not. I'm back on the regular picture here. Just giving him a little more contrast in his body and a little less light and a little more texture, which you can do over here.
All right, guys, go ahead and go with the next 2. I have to run to the bathroom real quick.
So we started off here.
Go for me, Bob.
We ended up here. Oh, just a little more texture.
Yeah, a little more pop.
Yep. And then we got Helga.
Great.
I like these two together.
I like the story that is told by having them appear back to back.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
They work as a series.
Yeah, they're much better. Yeah, they work as a series.
Make a diptych.
That could be done. Yeah, if you're going to make a diptych, you'd want the tonal values to match more closely, but absolutely, it'd be a great diptych.
Like about the second one.
What did she say?
Yeah,
What did you like about the second one?
Yeah, the expression is good, and technically, you did a good job. That depending on people's monitors, you may or may not see it, but there is separation of the ears. The ears do have separation from the background. The separation is there all the way around the ears. 100%. It is there, and and that could be printed.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Good job with the with maintaining those values. I've got an echo coming from somebody else's thing back out of the speaker at me.
This one is Susan's.
It's kind of an interesting pastel, almost a watercolor look to it. Bring it up just a little bit from the bottom because of that little pink thing right in the corner there, and yeah, there you go.
This was.
And there's some other dark thing on the lower left you could get rid of, but otherwise, like I say, let me see just a little more brightness on this, Lynn, just to see it. Yeah, that's nice. Take down the whites though. Take down the whites and the highlights though. Yeah, there it is. That looks nice.
Started here, and we ended up here.
Yeah, little more contrast, a little more pop to it that way, without totally killing that soft pastel look to it.
Right. Yeah, just need to get rid of this thing right here.
Yeah, that thing down there, that'd be easy to get rid of.
Whose image is this?
This is Susan Huckabee's.
Okay. All right, Susan. Susan's here, right?
I'm here, and
Great.
this was a new lens for me. This was a Christmas present, a lens baby, and this was my very first day.
Okay, great.
So yeah, that look you achieved, that kind of painterly, like I said, that watercolor look with that lens baby is actually very pleasing in this image.
Which lens baby is it, Susan?
56.
Okay, yeah, it's the 56 Velvet is it should be nice, and it's not a bendy one, it's a straight lens. So yeah, the center should be nice and crisp with blurry edges. So yeah, she nailed it with the lens. Just needed a little post-processing fixes. That's all.
Hey, Lynn, I
Yeah?
want the next one.
You want the next one? Go for it.
Yeah.
Barry's here. He's ready. It's train time.
Yeah, this lens was an 18 to 150, and it looks like your lens is sharp in the center, but it looks like it's heavy on the aberration and distortion out at the edges of the frame. This isn't just a case of lack of sharpness like Brian's lens. In this case, there's actual distortion out here at the outer edges. In a case like this, where your main subject is coming close to the edge of the frame with that lens, you might actually want to shoot wider to put it more in the middle and then crop in post. But that's what I'm guessing is going on, because it's really rather a mess out at the edges, but it's not bad at all in the center.
Okay, I did some perspective correction. That probably exacerbated it quite a bit.
Oh yeah,
because that bottom stretched out a lot.
Oh yeah, that would definitely do that.
Okay,
Yep,
I didn't
you're
even
right
notice
about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's not a terribly sharp lens. Yeah.
What lens is it?
It's an 18 to 150.
EFM, the M series, EFM 18 to 150. It's a nice lens at about f8. But it's a good all-purpose lens for taking on trips, but not a good prime lens for stuff like this.
I wonder if I have the Canon kit like 18 to 135. I wonder if it has a similar problem.
Yeah, I've owned that lens, and they're very, very similar lenses. Yeah.
Anything else, guys? Robert?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Barry, I need you to talk to me. And what you're doing right now is you're showing me an image, but I don't see this. I don't see the story. Meaning, and usually the story comes from highlights and shadows and or toning. In this case, I really wanted this to be black and white, but let's just say you don't want it to be a black and white. Take down all the values. I mean, go give me an overall exposure value down. Great. The image already has a lot more depth now. Just by that. Now, I want you to grade it. Give me a grading and start from the back, about halfway in it. Now, halfway in and come down. Okay, great, wonderful there. That's great. Now let's bring the exposure down a little bit more, even more. All right. Oh, that's a bit much, but
yeah.
Come back. All right.
Yeah. You could spread your gradient back a little bit, but yeah, we're getting the idea. Yeah. Pull. Yeah. There you go. Stretch that. Yeah.
Yes.
Much better.
All right. Now let's bring a gradient down to the bottom, a brand new one down to the bottom, just at that area in the front where it's a little, just come up from there. Great. That's fine. Just bring it highlights down just a little bit. Highlights down on that. Highlights down there. Just okay. Now let's go down to my my color correction down at the bottom. Which one is that? Way down at the bottom. We're done with that gradient, by the way. And let's go down to calibration. Yes. Let's deal with our saturations on our blue area. Yes. Let's deal with a little bit of saturation on that green and that area right there. Nice. We now have a give me a before and after. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that is exactly the effect I was trying to convey, but couldn't.
Oh, now you can just run forward on the tape and see what I did here.
I think that locomotive has a Ferrari engine in it.
Yeah, it's got, look at the horse. It's a Ferrari horse.
Yeah.
So what we're saying here, Barry, is that I need somewhere to anchor first. Give me my hero first, and then build everything down from that. What you gave me, go back to my original. Len, please. You gave me everything to look at.
Right. How about the composition? Would you, I mean, it was really tough for me to crop this one, trying to get it to, I mean, the purpose was to focus on that engine, to that locomotive, the front of the locomotive.
Oh, wait. Let's go back to our setup. Your composition is starting to work now.
Yeah.
What about the top? Is it okay to have the sky showing like that? I mean, just the itty bitty sky?
That doesn't bother me.
Okay.
I struggled with that because I had a lot of sky, had the whole city skyline, and I brought it to this. Cropping out the sky made it, to me, seemed to look too awkward. It lost its depth. So I left that little bit of sky in, hoping that that just seemed right.
Yeah, but that's by taking the value down on that sky, it minimizes it, because we're needing to look more to the front and not so much at the back. The back becomes a perspective deal, says that, hey, look, this thing goes on forever. But the foreground is the main deal that we're focused and concentrated on.
Yeah.
So Barry, I need you to tell stories.
And don't be afraid to make things darker and use contrast and all this color stuff. Which I know you don't use Lightroom, so you can still do that with the DxO.
DxO, yeah, I use.
Oh, sure. It has control lines now.
Yeah.
I can train in all of this. Not to say that Jim does. Don't you do Capture One, Jim?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
So we train in a bunch of different software. So all of this stuff can be done in Capture One, On One, and DxO.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, that's very effective.
This one is Black and White Mountain. This is Valerie's. Oh, and she already left.
Oh,
No.
Valerie.
Oh, that's right. That was Nona. This is Valerie still here. Sorry.
Valerie.
Western ladies.
Valerie, what are you working with? What software are you working with?
The Photoshop.
You are working with Photoshop?
Yes.
Do you have Lightroom to go with it?
I do, but I have a hard time trying to figure out Lightroom.
All right, so you are comfortable with Photoshop then, right? Is that right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right, then you have a contrast issue here.
Okay.
Right here.
Yeah, all of this contrast between the sky, the whites, and the mountaintop, they need to really talk and have their own voice. Right now, they're all shouting the same, and I don't hear anything. Thank you very much, Lynn, for giving a little bit more contrast. That mountain is what we want, so let's make the sky stand out a little bit by standing it down, pulling it down on the value, so that our mountains start to talk a little bit. There's lots of information in there.
Yeah.
Are we starting to see it, Valerie?
I see it. I would have even cropped out the bottom part though too.
I probably actually would have added more to the bottom. It looks like it's been cropped.
Yeah.
Give me more of a lead in.
Yeah.
It makes the mountain look really short.
Yes.
You know it's not short.
But you see now what we're doing is each element, the foreground, midground, and background have their own voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you tell me if you're not seeing it. Don't just agree just to be agreeing.
I see it. It's like where I was, I could have brought it down further, taking the picture, but there was trees on the side and brush and all kinds of stuff that was like, it would have distorted the picture. So that's why I chose to go up instead of down.
What I'm talking about the voice of the different tones.
Yeah.
Yes, I see the different tones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Jim, any comments?
Sorry, I had to deal with something on my phone for a minute, but no, just coming back and looking at this, I like what you've done with it, and I think you could even increase the visual impact of the height of the mountain by by bringing the top down and not having as much sky would increase the appearance of tallness of the mountain in the frame.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it really, the mountain looks really short. That's
Yeah,
that's the
all
only
that
problem
extra
with
sky
using
makes
it looks
the,
like a wide angle lenses have a tendency
diminishes the size of the mountain.
Yeah. Okay, reset. And this one,
Here, I'm just going to show something real quick with that one, Lynn.
yeah, go ahead. And I wanted to tell everybody that you know what a group of ladybugs is?
Oh, this is good.
It's a loveliness.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Mhm.
loveliness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was just going to point out, yeah, all the details here and the background is pretty much mostly soft, but there's a distracting element here that's, you know, see that here?
Yeah.
That thing. If you make that go away, it really helps hold the attention to
The ladybugs.
the ladybugs.
So yeah,
It's a little that's a sharp, you know, detail that just is kind of out of place with the rest of the background there or whatever it is.
Yeah, I like hundreds of pictures of them. I just came across them when I was.
But this is really cool.
yeah. And it
This
is
is really
called
cool.
a loveliness. A group of ladybugs is called a loveliness. And I heard it on TV and I thought, yeah, they're just pulling our legs. I looked it up and it's true. Loveliness.
Well, what they're now is exactly what I called it. That's what
I called it aggregation.
yeah, they call it
Mhm.
because of how they're. So
Yeah,
Yep.
that's cool though.
If you have aggregate and add some mortar, you've got concrete. You can have ladybug concrete with your with that aggregation.
That's actually really cool. I'm curious. You know what I want to do? I'm gonna just out of curiosity. I just want to see this thing like this. That's cool too.
Yeah, that is.
That is a cool picture.
And if you put some stilettos on those bugs, you'd have the ladybugs of the evening.
Oh yeah, of course.
Or just shoot them at blue hour.
Yeah, shoot them at blue hour. Yeah, they're the ladies of the evening. This one is Glory, and this is Lee Wins.
Lee Win, I wish you were here to hear my comment.
I'm here.
She's here.
Oh my goodness, there she is.
She hasn't gone to bed yet. Everybody else has, but she's still here.
Lee Win.
Yes.
Did you add these flares?
The rays.
No, what a flare.
The rays.
No, that morning, there was one morning, it was foggy, and then I saw the sun come out. So we rushed into the park. So everywhere it's under the tree, it's those rays.
Now I want to know how many times those people had to walk back and forth with the dog.
What? Walk back with
Did you hire those people to walk the dog?
Oh, we just standing on the road waiting for people walking by. So I got I feel great that morning because people walking there, running and biking, and it was a nice morning.
You were kind of far away from this scene and pulling it in with a telephoto lens. I'm guessing the way the perspective looks. I don't see your data there, but do you have any idea? Do you remember what focal length you were shooting with?
200. I have a
Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, you were actually much further away than what this image would appear as, and shooting at the longer end of the lens, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, good job, because the way that compressed all the elements and drew the curvature and the distance of the road up closer and everything worked really well in using that telephoto compression effect.
Yeah.
Oh, I will tell you this. I hope you pay those actors really well, and you're lighting people with the those movie lights to produce those rays. That's a lot of money well spent.
Yeah. Hey,
it was a great morning.
How long did those rays last?
Oh gosh, that morning at least 2 hours because first it was foggy.
Yeah.
And then when the fog started to disappear, this sun ray comes through. I was just jumping around to go to different trees. But we stood on this road for quite a while because I just waiting for people come up or go another way. So I got people running and people biking, they all have this ray on them. Yeah.
So that's taking advantage of and being aware of what's happening in your environment. It's a good thing for all of us to do. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I went out and crawled around in the frost the other morning. We took
Oh.
pictures of the frost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Where is this image taken?
A Philippi Park.
Leaf Park,
Oh,
Yeah.
in Tampa?
No, Safety
Safety
Harbor.
Harbor.
Yeah, and I guess what, in the morning, we first went to the pier, so the sun come out, you don't see far, those city stuff.
Yeah.
But as the sun come out, also so pretty. So as soon as we shooting that, and we came back to the park. Yeah, so it was a great morning for 2 hours. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Thank you.
It helps to live 5 feet from it.
Yeah.
So Lynn, for some reason, you skipped my bridge picture.
No, we did it before.
We did that first.
We did
We
it in the
never
sign.
did it. We never critiqued it.
Oh,
And
we
I have
didn't
a
critique
question
it?
about it.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll go back in
We
there.
skipped it all night long. So there's a question I want to ask about it.
Okay,
Yeah, go-
sorry. Go ahead, guys.
We
Well, I
can't
don't
see
see
it.
the, can't see
We
the
can't see
picture.
it.
Oh, would help if I shared, huh? Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
I
don't see it
lost my
yet.
Zuby. I lost my Zuby part. Okay, here it is. It went over on my other screen. Okay, there we go. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
So before I ask my question, I just want to get the impression of it.
No, the composition is right, and that reflection mirroring it as part of the composition was very well done.
Yeah.
So both of my blue image pictures, blue hour pictures, I took when the internet said was blue hours, and both times I had to enhance the blue to get it. So
Yeah,
does that mean that
because the internet does not know what the actual local conditions are at any time. It's, like I say, trust me, I shoot blue hour for years and years and years. I get paid to do it. It always varies. It doesn't follow the rule of the internet. You just have to be there and ready for it, when it happens. Don't say, oh, it's between this minute and that minute, or this, it varies. Every day, every location, every sky condition, every weather condition plays a variable in it.
All right. And the other question is, focus on the very center of the photograph. Do you see any problem there?
You talking about those lights sticking out?
The bushes.
The bushes? Yeah, I mean, they're there. That's a big thing to take out, and that, they're really there. That didn't bother me.
Okay. I thought they were a little bit of motion blue there.
That's not the main.
Yeah, you're not looking. We're not even paying attention to those bushes.
They're so secondary to the strength of the main composition that
Who cares? Yeah.
But as far as Brian, as far as the internet telling you one thing and then you get in there and doing something different, I'd really write a letter to my lawyer and have them call the people at the internet and do something about that. You could probably get some money out of it.
The one thing, though, is if I would have been there earlier when apparently it was the real blue hour, then I wouldn't have got the pink in the sky. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, again, I'd do that to my lawyer and talk to him about that.
Well, I'm going to say what it comes down to, for judging, and when you get hired by a client, it comes down to what you deliver, and what you delivered is correct and meets the criteria. If I had hired you to shoot blue hour and you gave me this, you would get paid.
Okay.
Now, if you, Brian, but now just note now, if you were to get paid for this, then you cannot employ your lawyers to sue anybody.
Okay, guys, are we done?
We're done.
I have a question. I have a question.
Jim has two answers.
In looking at that picture, I would like to see more space on the right.
It is a little tight. I won't argue with that.
Distractions. There were buildings over there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that Terra Bridge is going pretty narrow into Terra Verde pretty quickly there. So I didn't know they had put those lights on there. That's actually a good thing to know. So it's still not as good as the other one, the Beta Bay Bridge. Okay, guys.
Thank you, Lynn.
Guys, very good.
Appreciate you
Thank
all
much,
hanging.
guys.
We went from 30, we lost about 14 people over the course of the last hour, but hopefully we got everybody, and hopefully our newbies aren't too tired.
Good night.
All right, good night, everybody.
We'll see y'all next week.
Good night. Yep, thanks.